Good morning, nerds, and I hope you're ready for a little Dungeons and Dragons at the crack of dawn. As we embark on a nightly quest at the break of day, I just wanted to squeeze in a quick thank you before we begin. This is the audio only version of a long distance tabletop RPG session streamed live on Twitch every Monday morning. So without further delay, let's get into today's session.
And good morning, nerds. Welcome to another episode of Tethered by the Table. My name is Nathan, and I don't fudge my rolls except for the important ones.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan, and we don't only we don't only pray that um we roll well, but we pray that our Wi-Fi doesn't drop.
Definitely. I like that little script on the fly. I was looking at your scripts. I was like, I think she's out. I wonder what she's going to say this time.
I am out. And just side note, you started talking and I didn't mute the stream on Twitch. So you were going and I was like, "Oh no." So I had to turn over and do that while
Well,
I started talking.
well, at least you're pretty good at thinking on the fly. But Megan, where are we? What are we doing? What's even happening right now?
Okay. All right.
Can't be that
Well,
exciting.
it was kind of I don't know. It definitely wasn't what I expected when I woke up the last
Hmm.
week at 6 in the morning. But we started off on Stormwatch Towers, where we were battling Cab. Um, and it was me, the Viceroy, and Dentith. And truth be told, we probably wouldn't have won. But then Layeth came around, um, the librarian, from like episode 5, maybe.
Like, who knows how long
Um,
ago?
yeah, and he appeared with his Doctor Strange portal, and just basically said, "We gotta go." So he like stops time, um, another Doctor Strange thing, and
Yeah.
then we went through his portal. We got back to the city of Cyanidel, and then that's when stuff popped off, um, because Stormwatch Towers started to like crumble, and it was crumbling because a horde of zombies was like raising up from like this the ground. I don't know, like this the
Yeah.
bottom,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they just started. It's so many zombies. They started running to Cyanidel. Um, and yeah, we're trying to fend off all these zombies. Currently, I am at the gate with Tannic. We were able to successfully close the gates, battle off some zombies, and I think they were just zombies. Oh, and skeletons. Um, I tried to stop it with the book that I stole from
Yeah. No, don't bring this up. I'm not proud of it.
from
It's
Cab.
just evidence that I
Um,
railroad you.
yes. I thought it was a wicked cool idea. No,
So excited to use the
but
book.
but the book basically destroyed itself, and now we're just we're still fighting the horde.
Like, no, I like it. Say that's pretty comprehensive. You didn't really miss anything there. Let me take a look at my notes. But ultimately, with your permission, I think I'm ready to get started on today's session.
Yes, I am ready as
Perfect.
well.
Excellent. So, actually, I know you were talking about how you were at the gate, um, fighting off zombies and everything. That is not necessarily the case because our session takes place 4 days later after the initial
What?
onslaught on Cyanidel. You have been fighting courageously for 4 days, but you find yourself currently in the Avid Up in kind of a war room, a makeshift war room that's built out of a couple of offices where multiple kind of personnel of interest are located here. Many of the lords and ladies of Cyanidel, pretty much to become a lord or a lady, you have to contribute a momentous thing to the community. And so these individuals are kind of at a heightened status, not necessarily nobility or important roles in society, but they are important figures amongst the society, as well as Tannic Pelt and of course the Viceroy and a couple of other. people who actually have civic duties, who are either hired or elected into position, and they're all kind of joining around this table where Tannic Pelt has the floor and he's presenting a field report for the individuals. And Tannic Pelt stands up and he goes, "It has been 4 days since the onslaught of the undead, two since our walls have fallen. It would be an understatement to say that our city is in disarray. The dead walk the streets, our citizens forced to hide and scavenge in refugee camps. Things are dire, but we are beginning to turn the tides. The scouts from the mountains, the few that return, state that the intensity of undead coming from the Stormwatch crater has significantly decreased, and we suspect that the necromancer hoped that a massive wave of undead would wipe us from the map. Not on my watch. 2 days ago, our city's walls fell, allowing undead forces to penetrate the city's borders and terrorize civilians. Thanks to our head mage Laeth Zalvarel, who quickly conjured a protection circle around the city, there are no more forces entering the city, allowing us to deal with the plenty that initially breached. He has told me that the solution is not permanent, but it will hopefully last us long enough to rebuild the walls. My forces continue to eradicate the forces inside, but the Necromancer still runs loose. I don't dare send military forces to Stormwatch Crater, because that would spread my men too thin. In my opinion, we must first prop the city up and resume normality as much as possible before chasing the threat in the mountains. And while he's doing this, there's a couple of maps behind him that he's kind of pointing to, kind of signifying locations of. He begins to kind of explain where his patrols are moving, kind of describing the city streets that they're making routine stops at, the amount of undead that they've been ultimately destroying, the amount of people that they're able to provide aid to, and kind of goes through a more technical and strategical report afterwards, to explain kind of what they've been doing for the last 4 days. And he opens the floor and goes, Does anyone have any questions?" And at this time, Countess Lavish, a woman with kind of a shorter white hair and a elegant teal dress, she kind of stands up and goes, "Do we have a body count for the lives, both civilian and enforcer, that the undead have claimed? Do we have policies in place to prevent our own dead from joining the forces against us?" And ultimately, the Panic begins to kind of explain that they're taking routine measures to make sure that they don't lose their own men, that they're preventing um, the zombie virus from afflicting the people that are getting bitten. He's mentioning that there's a doctor in the inner city streets that specializes in slowing the necromantic curse of zombies, and so he's been able to leverage them and everything to make sure that their people, anyone of his soldiers that die, don't turn into zombies. And after kind of a quick back and forth, Countess Lavish is satisfied with her answer and she sits down. Only for another older man, older elvish man with a green kind of three-piece suit and a cane in his hand, he stands up and goes, "Our harbors have been closed for 4 days now, and all trading has stopped. I have received reports that trade in other parts of the island are grinding to a halt. The longer we stay closed, the more it threatens the economy of our neighbors, our capital. Can we spare military bands to escort goods and cargo out of the city?" And Panic begins to explain that that would be a bad idea because ultimately, the amount of men that he has in the city is already very thin. With the amount of undead and skeletons and zombies that are kind of forcing their ways through the walls, allowing soldiers to then just for the sheer purpose of just escorting goods out of the city, wouldn't necessarily be in the best interest, because it would leave the people and civilians there unprotected. And at this point, he opens the floor for any more questions. Enough room for Marlowe to ask any questions if you have any questions for Tannic. Come on, you're part of a war room. You're strategizing right now. Stop acting like you're level 3.
I'm, am I gonna be a lady?
Like, what the, can I put this to my advantage? Can I make a little continue if you have any
um,
questions?
oh, I'm just sitting in the back
Okay.
watching this all transpire.
And Panic, after answering a couple of other less important questions, not just little businessmen. "I'm worried about my trade of exotic goods," and a lot of just kind of menial tasks that Tenek is able to kind of push down and reassess. The number one goal here is to protect the citizens of Cyanidel. Eventually, the meeting is adjourned, and the important personnel file out of the room, return to their jobs, even if they have changed slightly with the onslaught of the zombie apocalypse, and everyone begins to leave. However, Tannic does approach you and kind of calls you over before you are able to leave the room. And he goes, "Oh, Marla, we have been extremely busy since the events of Stormwatch Tower. I personally invited you to this meeting because I believe that you should be involved in these matters, but also because I wanted to meet you personally. I owe you my life."
Yeah, no, no worries. Just doing what a girl does.
Because though my and you see him, he kind of gets like a little hesitant here because he's bringing up something sensitive. Though my debt to you may never be repaid, I must ask another large favor of you. There are three refugee camps that have taken the bulk of our inner city residents. Many of my men have their hands full with the patrols they're doing, and I have no one to go and kind of relay information between the refugee camps to me, I guess. I was wondering if you might be able to make your rounds around the inner city. I know you're a skilled warrior. I'm not worried about kind of giving you like a detail to protect you. But I need someone to check up on each refugee camp and make sure that everything is going swimmingly, that there's no kind of gaps in our defense. I was curious if you could just take a look and take a break from the front lines that I know you've been fighting on for the last 4 days.
I could do that. Um, Before I go, well, you and the Viceroy are close.
Yes.
Where is he right now?
He is currently in one of our refugee camps here at the Avid Sea. He's in his
Okay,
office.
okay. Um,
Oh
Sweet.
no.
Okay, thank you.
I'm afraid of that conversation.
All right.
Does
And
it feel
then
weird that sometimes with these conversations, I'm like, she's gonna yell at me. She's gonna yell at me. I'm just playing a guy. But and he goes, okay, well, we have one camp here at the Avid Sea Up. We've turned our merchant floor into a sort of refugee camp that we're actively defending. Um, a man named Gatriar Relum has given us a warehouse, though it's a little bit interesting, the warehouse that he's provided. Um, there's also a thing there as well. And like I was mentioning before with that doctor, there's a doctor in the inner city streets that wasn't registered on any of our normal platforms, but he seems to be highly capable of defending our people. A refugee camp has kind of formed around his house, down in some of the underbelly of the inner streets there. And so he gives you a map with all three locations. Um, of course, you recognize the Abbasia and the doctor that he's mentioning, a Dr. Jekka, but the warehouse is a little bit off from the near list where you've met Gateshare before, and it's in a different location. And he goes, "Well, if you could just check on those three and report back to me as soon as possible, I'd really appreciate it."
will do, boss. And
Excellent.
then I'm gonna
And he goes back
head
to his
out,
maps and he begins to do things, but
do
whatever,
map things.
do map things. And so, where are you looking to go right now?
I'm gonna I'm gonna hit up Viceroy. So I'm gonna
Okay, okay,
head that
okay.
way.
And
Viceroy
so,
is his title, right?
yes,
And what's his name?
his name is
I forgot.
Emerald Radikai.
Oh, I thought Emerald was also a title.
That does sound cool.
Emerald
Maybe I should have gone that way. Emerald
Radikai?
Radikai. And you
Hey,
navigate your way through the Avid Siep. The office area you're a little bit familiar with, while the war room is kind of it sets you in a different place than where you're familiar with going through. That's just the main entrance. Like the two times you've made it to Emerald's office, you're able to navigate through the hallways. It's not too hard, and there's signs that point you everywhere. And you find yourself outside the room of Viceroy Ratikai, and you can hear someone kind of busy inside, scribbling things, writing things. I think there's just someone inside doing clerical work.
mm, I'm gonna knock and then just walk in.
Okay. And when Emerald Ratikai sees you enter, he kind of is surprised at first because someone just walks in, but he sees you, goes, "Oh, Marlo, I'm very glad that you're here. I'm very glad to know that you've been fighting for so long, and you're still of good health. And a lot of our men that were on the front lines weren't as fortunate."
I'm glad you're alive, Emerald. Um, how to put this? When you gotta talk to your brother, Emerald. You gotta do it.
And he puts his little pen down and he kind of sits there and he goes, "I There's nothing to talk about." He's being a fool.
Obviously, obviously there is. He is sending waves of zombies to terrorize your people. I think it's high time we have a family reunion.
It's only a physical representation of the emotional and manipulation that he's been doing ever since he's a child. He's been doing everything he can to gain a presence, to make himself known, to make an event of things. If I cave to his wishes now, I'm only giving him what he wants.
A child cannot manipulate. And so the way that you're speaking now, it only proves what Cab is thinking of you. It only proves that these zombies are warranted. You need to think long and hard what's worth it. Your pride or the people that you serve.
I have no doubt
And
of the people of I serve,
I'm gonna
the
leave.
people I
I'm
serve.
gonna leave.
And you leave the room while he begins to talk, and you can see he kind of gets frustrated when somebody would disrespect his stature like that. But like honestly, you've earned a level of respect around your name as well, and he's willing to kind of let that act go unpunished as he begins to kind of mull on the words that you provided, and you leave Imra Radikai's room. Now, where are you looking to go? Ultimately, the Abbot Siap is a refugee camp, but then you have two others that you can check up as well.
Well, I'm here, so I might as well check on this one.
Okay. You're going to head over to the merchant floor. Now, originally, when you came to this merchant floor in episode one, that is lost to time. You had there was a sprawling open room in the very center of the Avidseum, where people with their makeshift carts, makeshift stands, and blankets could go and sell anything they choose. And it's a bustling bazaar. But now, instead of the loud noises and festive kind of jingling, smelling of good food and everything's of that sort. Instead, the entire floor is covered in makeshift tents, bedrolls, people, people in kind of in white robes, um, almost like nurse outfit. I guess like nurse uniforms and everything are tending to people who are sick. Most of which are, it seems to be kind of like out of the plethora of people that are wounded, not a lot of them. I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Very few have like broken bones and like physical ailments. Most of them are bites, marks. Most of them are kind of sicknesses that they're falling into, and they're doing their best to quarantine their group of people and tend to the sicknesses that they can. But really, no one's getting turned away per se. They're all kind of trying to get as much help as possible to these individuals. But it really is just a sorry sight to see just everybody kind of is down on their luck. Everyone is not very happy, and ultimately you are you're kind of just and you enter a room of just despair as people are wandering around and a few enforcers are walking around. Is there anyone that you're looking for particularly?
Is there someone that looks like the leader of this encampment?
Yeah, I'd say there's in one of the corners, kind of closer to the stairs that lead up to the administrative part of the Abbot Siap. There is a table with kind of a guard who is more decorated uniform than than most.
Okay, I'm gonna go head up that way.
Okay. And as you approach, do you say anything?
I'm like, hello. Panic sent me this way to lend aid however I can.
And he nods and he looks down at his paper and goes, the name please?
Marlowe?
And he looks and goes, actually, Marlowe, that sounds familiar. Laeth is looking for you. He's in the basement. He's was hoping that you'd see him as soon as possible. He made the request about a day and a half ago.
Okay, I'll go there now.
Okay, and he kind of gives you rough instructions on how to get to the basement there. But as you enter in the basement, it's a very large kind of looks like it used to be a second floor of a market area, but since it was in the basement, it really didn't go as well, and nobody really wanted to be there. So it's a very large room tall-ish ceilings for being a basement. It's now being used mostly as a warehouse, but in the very center of the Abbot Siap, there is a large kind of orange and reddish circle with a man that you recognize, Laeth, sitting kind of at a wooden table and chair, sipping tea. And as you walk in, he looks, oh, Marlowe, I'm so happy that you're able to see. After a day of my request to see you and you hadn't arrived, I worried the worst, but I'm very glad to see that you're here.
Yeah, the enforcer said that you were requesting My presence? What's up?
Yeah. You see, when the walls fell and the dead stormed Cyanidel, I threw this protection circle up in a hurry. It's powerful, but it's exhausting to cast. Frankly, I don't anticipate how much Tanic is inflate. Hold on. Frankly, I don't appreciate how much Tanic is inflating my ability because it only applies to more pressure to succeed. Yeah, how have you been for the last 4 days?
Well, I definitely didn't anticipate being a zombie killer when I landed here on Cyanidel, but I'm alive, so that's better than what most can say.
And thankful the city of Cyanidel is. We really couldn't have been here without every single hand on deck. And I'm really hoping that you have a lot on your hand. I'm hoping I can maybe take you away from the front lines for a little task for me.
Sure, yeah. What do you have in mind?
If I'm going to keep this spell up long enough for the walls to be fixed, I need the help of a magical item. A magical item that's in the school that the school has plenty of. The magical item that is a whispering stone, and it repeats any phrase that is whispered to it endlessly. I use them to perpetuate the verbal component of spells, allowing the disbursement of my magical strain that the spell might that caused me. I could really use one of those stones right now to keep up this protection spell.
Sounds like a pretty handy dandy stone. And you said it's in the library where we met?
It is. The only problem is
Okay,
that my office is not where it once was. The head of the school of Celutar has moved the school due to the onslaught of the undead. It's no longer
of
the
course.
school is no longer located in Cyanidel, but instead in the capital, Tyre. And so you'll have to head all the way to Kyre in order to retrieve it. Speak lightly
And
of this to the viceroy, because he will be very upset that the school has moved.
gotcha. Well, the viceroy and I aren't in great terms right now, so well, my lips are sealed.
And he
Um,
nods
and
and yeah, continue.
and just to remind me, how far away is Kyre?
It's about 3 days travel.
Oh, do you guys feel like you'll be okay without me while I'm gone? Not to boast up my skills, but I would be one less magic wielder at your disposal.
And he nods and he said, I I trust that I can tell you things. Though we know each other very shortly, I do feel like I trust you, and I hope that I have earned some sort of trust um, throughout my actions towards you. And you see as the circle that he's in kind of shimmers almost. And instead of where this is, where he is dripping like drinking tea and being all kind of friendly and
Oh,
everything, um, instead an image of he appears in the dead center of this of the circle, and he's on his knees with his fingertips bleeding and his eyes bleeding and nose, and like you can see him just kind of whispering incantations just over and over, just looking at the ground, and he kind of he goes, "This spell will kill me. Give it a week. I do not fear death, and I will continue this spell until my very last whisper if it protects Cyanidel. I underestimated how much the size of this circle would multiply the strain on my body. I've created an illusion to mask the toll on my body because I don't want those who speak highly of me to see me bleed. I tell you this because I trust you, and you will keep silent my strife. I cannot eat or drink as it would disrupt my verbal component, and I don't know how much longer I can hold the spell. I don't wish to add a sort of emergency to this situation, but I am on limited time, and regardless if Sandalo can live without you while you travel, it cannot live if I drop this spell. And frankly, I hope that anyone in the panic or viceroy would understand that I'd send you out to Kyre. Now, I do have some days, and I'm willing to push it, but um, do what you can in the city first. But I'd appreciate if you left for Kyre soon.
Laith, why haven't you spoken of this? We have plenty magic wielders. Why can't we go in rotations? I would gladly have taken your spot for a few days.
Frankly, this spell, I have spent years, many more years than my age looks, honing and perfecting the art of magic. And frankly, any other person, I worry that it would it would exhaust them quicker than it would me. I do not wish this burden on anybody but me. But I'm fine for now.
We need to tell the viceroy. show him what everyone else is putting out. Maybe if he sees how much energy and how much this is draining you, maybe he'll go talk to his freaking brother.
Yeah, frankly, while I have plenty of words on the events that conspired to put us in this situation now, frankly, my struggles should not be added onto the list of many things to change. This is something that I can do, and this is how I fight back, and this is how I want to serve.
Right. All right. Well, I'll go to Kyre and I'll get you your Whispering Stone.
Excellent. Now I'm
So
sure you have a
it's a
couple of other
3-day
things on the list.
travel. You need to survive for 6 days, Leith.
I I can do that. I can do that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'll go. Is there anything else you need me to know before I head out?
He kind of nods, and the image of him disappears back again to just reveal the man who's sipping tea at his table. As yes, on your way back, grab me a sandwich and a tall glass of whiskey.
You know, Leith, I think I can manage to do that.
And he
And then
nods.
I pull out I pull out the Viceroy's wine that I took in like episode what 2.
I dig it.
I'm
I
like,
dig it.
when I come back, we'll have a celebration toast. And then I turn
And you
and
see him,
leave.
he kind of nods, and he holds his hand up in a book, like kind of like apparates into his hand, and he begins to read the book while he is drinking tea in this little protection circle.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna head out and I'm going straight. I'm headed to Kyre. Not talking to anybody,
Not talking to
not
anybody else.
doing any. No, I want to freaking throw this bottle of wine at the Viceroy's head, but
Didn't realize I just would get you just so upset about. I love that I'm just able to elicit so much of an emotional response from you. It's amazing. It makes my life so much easier. Okay, so you're just heading out of the city.
yeah, because I don't want Leith to die.
Okay, all right. I guess I
Oh,
should
so
assume from.
I'm gonna go to Tannic.
Okay,
Um,
yes.
I'm gonna go back to the war room quickly before I leave.
Okay, all right. And you head back to the war room. You're able to just you just go up a couple of flights of stairs, head back to the war room where Tannic is still kind of conversing with a couple of other highly decorated enforcers in your area, and that you've seen kind of walking around. And he sees you and it kind of looks towards you to initiate a conversation.
Mhm. Okay, Tannic, I have to go. I'm gonna be headed to Kyre, and I have a little um errand I have to run. So you'll be down a magic wielder, but I just wanted you to know that I didn't die. I didn't abandon my post. This is just a very important errand I have to run.
And he kind of looks and goes, "Oh, you're running an errand?
Yes.
Okay. And in that case, then certainly. Do you need any assistance on this errand?
No.
Okay. And he kind of he pulls out a kind of while he's kind of sitting there, pulls into his pocket and goes, this just came in for you. I know you're kind of heading out, but I figured I'd get it to you sooner or later." And kind of holds out a piece of paper and provides it and holds it in your general direction.
Okay. I take the paper.
And it is a note. It is a letter from signed by Gatria. You're able to see his large G at the very bottom, just
Mm.
the letter G, and it states pretty much just Marlowe, please come quick. Very very emergency. Uh, like I could really use your help right now. And signed G.
Freaking hell. Cool.
You're in
Cool.
high demand. You're in high demand.
All right. Well, thank you. Did the person who delivered this Tannic say anything about what this matter could be?
No, the enforcer had no clue what. Actually, he
Cool.
woke up this morning with the letter in his pocket. He never actually saw Gatria today.
Yeah, sounds about right. All right. Well, thank you so much. Are there windows in this war room?
Yes, there are, and they're shuttered, but yes.
Okay. Can I, if I opened one, would I see Gatriar's place where he's at?
Um, you would see the location, but not necessarily where. Like you wouldn't like make eye contact with him from across
Right,
like the.
right,
But
right.
you'd see where the location is.
All right. I just wanna, I'm trying to get there as fast as I can, so I'm wanting to cast jump and just sail through that window towards that general direction.
Like Batman, you're like, all right, open the
Yes.
shuttered window and jump out the window. Yeah, I mean, you're more than welcome to do so. You cast jump and you just sail out the window onto the city streets
Leaving
below.
Tanit.
And Tannic's like, "Yee!" as you just book it out of the yeah. And so ultimately, you walk along the city streets and everything to um along kind of the maze of Cyanidel, following the map that Tannic has provided you before, and eventually make it along kind of the alleyways until you hit a dead end, right where the X marks the spot on the map. You're just staring kind of at the end of an alleyway.
I'm gonna go up to the mark. I'm gonna knock on it and I'm gonna say Bacillus spine.
Ooh, I dig it, I dig it. And so, you like just on the very end of the alleyway, you're just gonna knock on it.
I feel like it's a trap, but
I
yes.
mean,
Like the trap door is gonna open up.
yeah. You knock and say "Basta spine," and one of the bricks pulls out from like kind of behind the wall and scoots over, and there's like kind of a man, like a big hulking kind of like bodyguard looking dude, looks through and goes, "What'd you just say to me?"
Bacillus spine. I got a note from Gatriar
And he
telling
nods.
me it's an emergency.
He nods and the brick kind of goes back, and all of a sudden the wall kind of depresses into the rest of the alleyway and slides across as this kind of big orc man is like hand moving the brick wall out of the way, allowing you to kind of descend into the below the city streets into a large room that you can hear bustling with noise.
I look up, I'm like, man, we need you in the front lines, and then head down.
He kind of grunts and everything and puts and moves the wall back and kind of pushes it back into where the rest of the wall is. And you're able to head down into the second refugee camp. This is in Gaitriar's warehouse. The building is like the room that you enter in is extremely large, with kind of enchanted orbs kind of hovering, kind of like where incandescent lights would be in a warehouse, just along the top. Crates, parts, manners of all sorts of just bits and bobs are scattered along the entire place, while bedrolls are kind of kind of fixed in between and every like kind of nook and cranny that they can. There are enforcers walking along, kind of patrolling, helping out where they can. Fewer nurses than you saw at the Avid CF, and of course you see Gatriar, who is dressed very nicely like he always is, but he is pacing very kind of rapidly as he's kind of going around. And as people are kind of looking at like either sitting on boxes or maybe even like getting curious and opening boxes or anything, he's like coming over and like swatting their hands, like telling people like get out of certain areas and kind of pushing people around. And when he sees you descend the stairs, you see him immediately kind of breakneck speed, kind of walk over to you. He goes, "Oh, Marlo, I cannot stress how much it is nice to see you right now."
You're kind of out of your depth with all these enforcers around, aren't you?
And he looks, he goes, they asked me if I had a space. I told them I had a space. I didn't realize they'd be taking all the enforcers in a third of the bloody town with me. This is a very sensitive place for me. And he kind of looks over, and there's some children that are begin to kind of open up a crate. And he goes, "Children, do not touch those crates, especially don't lick anything. That's a bad trip waiting for happen." And he kind of like shoos them away and everything, and the kids go running. And he goes, I don't know what I'm gonna do if these enforcers continue to poke around.
Listen, Gatriar, you gotta get to the point. I got a quick errand I have to run. Well, not quick, a very important one. I gotta get to Kyre. Well, what was your note about?
Fire. Oh, well, that makes my task seem a little less important, but I am sure you've been given a laundry list. It sounds like that's taking you outside of the town. But I was hoping I could add just a little item on top of it before you maybe leave the city. As you are aware, the Viceroy and I have a little deal together. Emerald has let me claim a monopoly on the dark economy, and I control the large. With that, I control the largest drug trade and black market imports in the city. And as long as I do my due diligence and exterminate entrepreneurs who may not have the city's best interest in hand, I consider myself the underbelly's groomer. I've made a false supply and demand to limit the amount of illicit drugs in the city, and it happens that I can charge a whole lot more for the drugs that I do sell. I consider it a deterrent for drug users. Bottom line is, I control who sells here, and in turn, I limit the amount of drugs that are available on the streets. Um, but the thing is, with me being busy down here for the last 2 days, making sure children don't rip into my pharmaceuticals, the Barracudas have decided to move into the vacuum of power that I've left. Without my patrols, without my presence, they realize the shark is no longer patrolling the waters. Word on the street is that the Barracudas are smuggling 3 caravans of drugs into the city while all their enforcers are busy. If they get the shipment in, they'll be able to sell the drug for copper pieces compared to my silver that I'm gutting these addicts for. If they sell this shipment, my boot on the neck of the underground slips. I can't let that happen. I was wondering if you could tell. I can tell you where the plans are, where they plan to enter the city, but I need you to prevent their success. Do what you must, and I can protect you from any backlash the street might attempt, but I can't protect you from the enforcers if they happen to see you. Would you be able to help me out in this tough situation?
And there's no way that you can leave.
These
Like,
enforcers are getting curious. They keep on looking through it, and this isn't even the full warehouse. If they find the door, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. I mean, Emerald and I have
well,
an agreement, but he can't provide me legal immunity.
well, just cast arcane lock on the door and call it a day.
They have sorcerers. They're gonna find it. They're gonna, they're gonna bring the dogs out and start sniffing the place. You can see their eyes wandering.
Right, what time are the barracudas supposed to be making their way over here?
Tonight, tonight.
Oh,
I can tell. And
hells.
he lifts open a bag. He pulled out of pocket a small bag. And he goes, "I can give you this. In this, I have a map of where they're going, and 10 alchemist fires. I just need you to make a little ruckus. Make sure they
All
don't get
right.
in."
Okay. Do you by chance have a whispering stone?
With Bringstone. Um, and he kind of sits there and he opens he opens up the bag and pulls out like a ledger and everything. He's like, I forgot this was in there. And he opens the ledger and begins to kind of look and he goes, nothing I've written down, not a whispering stone.
All
Why?
right.
What's that?
You should get those. They're high in demand right now.
In demand. And you see his kind of gear start working and everything, and he goes, I'll figure that out later.
All right. I'll do this. In repayment, I want quick access to Kyre. Do you by chance have like any arcane gate or know of any area that could maybe not get me there, but maybe halfway there or something like that? I just need quick, quick entry into Kyre.
And he goes, I can arrange that. I
Cool.
have a couple of tunnels now around here that could get. I use it to get past like enforcer gate checks, but I mean, I'm sure that can get you at least. I could knock a day off your travels.
Okay. Then that would be very helpful, Patriarchy. And considered this, the Barracuda's done.
Okay, and keep the bag if you're interested. To keep the bag afterwards. I don't mind. And he pretty much he
I'm
provides you
gonna,
with a bag of holding with a
yeah,
map and
no,
10 alchemist fire.
I was gonna stick my hand in and be like, did he
Where
just give me a
where is this
bag of
stuff?
holding?
Yes, it is a bag of holding with 10 alchemist fire inside. Very, I was trying to see if pretty much I mean you know what alchemist fire because you play Baldur's Gate, but he's just giving you 10 Molotov cocktails in hope that you can
Nice.
make a group disappear.
Yeah. Sweet. Bag of holding. Okay. All right, Gaichar. Well, you keep those kids out of drugs, and I'm gonna leave.
And as you leave, he turns around and goes, "Oh, please do not touch those. Those are antique weapons." And he like runs over and begins to kind of like move some people off of a crate or two. And you leave, and of course the orcish man opens the door for you, allows you to exit onto the alleyway. And as it closes, it's like you've never been anywhere. And you're just sitting back in the alleyway. Now, is there anything else you'd like to do? It's about mid-afternoon now. And according to the information that he would
at
provide
night.
you with the Barracudas, you still have a couple of hours to go.
Well, I guess while I'm still here, I'm gonna head to what, Nicholas Jekka? He was the other one that had the
Hell yeah.
encampment.
Yes. So you begin to walk. It's kind of the three refugee camps are spaced around one being kind of a dead center at the Abbotsia. Uh, you have Gatriar's warehouse that's kind of hidden in one corner of the large. I'm about to say one corner of the large circle. As if that even works. But the Dr. Jekyll's house is kind of on the opposite side there, so you have to kind of wander through the city a decent amount of time, passing the Abbotsia until you actually make it to Dr. Jekyll's house. And as you approach, you've been there before. It's a large apartment building, kind of. It's a high fantasy apartment building with lots of cities kind of pushed very close together. This is the slum kind of the inner city of Cyanidel, and there long before you even reach his house there are houses with the doors missing with people kind of squatting inside beds. Really there's not even any beds really. It's just kind of sheets or planks of wood that they can lay down to just kind of anything to keep them off the ground really. People are huddled around campfires. This is out of the three refugee camps you've been to, this is the most decrepit one, with not really any protection from the elements, people just opening their houses to let people in, and enforcers kind of doing their best to really keep off zombies. Like this is out of all the places, this one really doesn't have walls to protect it, and so it's the protection has to be from kind of makeshift, almost like high fantasy chain link fences that are kind of being like held up by enforcers actively while there's kind of zombies patrolling, kind of crawling around on the outside. You're able to make it into the refugee camp by providing your name, and a couple of most of the enforcers recognize you, and you're able to walk through kind of these city streets where there are people on the side of the road until you make it to a house that you recognize, the the Dr. Jekyll's house itself, whose of course doors open, a line out the door of people that are being, they're held by other more healthy people, or it's just it's a sad sight to see, and you can kind of get in there where Dr. Jekyll is actively performing right now.
I'm gonna walk in, gonna go up to Nicholas Jekka, just say, "Tannic sent me, just to check in. Is there anything I can do to help?"
And he's currently, there's someone kind of lay. You were able to walk through his house entirely. You're in the very back room where you originally found that cadaver. Instead, it's now kind of a doctor's office and everything. And then there's a patient that's kind of sitting on laying on the table, who has like a little bit of a twitch to him, and he's and Dr. Jekyll is liberally applying the that salve, that undead slowing salve on him, and he's kind of doing his best to treat his wounds. And he looks up and kind of and smiles a little bit once you see him. Kind of the first smile he's smiled in a couple of days. He goes, "Oh, it's good to see you again. It seems the undead attacks have only gotten more frequent."
Yeah, right? Um, I have to say that salve, I wish I saved it, but it definitely helped kill a zombie or two. But so good work on that, doctor.
And he nodded and goes, um, I guess it's a good thing that I have medical supplies needed to heal all these poor souls. Though the enforcers won't stop questioning me why I have them." And he kind of like chuckles a little bit as he continues to do this. And he goes, what business the Titanic sent you on?"
He just told me to come by and lend aid wherever was needed at these different encampments. So
Uh,
here
Well,
I
you can tell
am.
you can tell him we need walls, food, and water, and maybe a couple of more some medical supplies. I'm running low.
Okay, what medical supplies are you, like all of them? I would
Well,
assume.
mostly I just need the ingredients so I can keep on making this salve. Those are those will require a more official touch just if I'm going to get them in bulk. Um, my regular black market connections have gone underground, naturally due to the unforeseen circumstances. But the one thing I'm running out very quickly of is um, antiseptic. I need more alcohol. I'm running out of ways to keep this place sterile, and um, especially with this kind of this virus, sterile is the name of the game here. And I just, if I could just break away, I could make it to my normal contact at the Sandstone. I mean, there's a couple of dwarven whiskeys that do just fine when it comes to sanitizing, but I just can't break away. I've been working. for a day and a half now with no sleep, and the line only gets larger. I just need
Mm.
someone to get over to that sandstone, and frankly, I'm not surrounded by enough able bodies to ask anybody.
Well, would this help? And I'm gonna well, I pull out this really fine, it's 70% alcohol, so which is actually better for disinfecting than 100%. Um, but I'm gonna ask if
and he
that can
and he
help.
looks and he kind of takes off like I don't know he kind of he has kind of blood on his hands, but he kind of like has like a little basin nearby that he washes most of the blood off, and kind of like reaches for it, careful not to like touch you or anything. And he grabs the bottle and looks, goes, this definitely will put a hurt, if not on the sickness, a little bit on my nerves, that's for sure. But I mean, one bottle is good. I'll need a lot more of it, but I mean, this is a
Okay,
nice bottle. I don't want to take this from you.
no, if it's gonna help, take it. I was just gonna have a little toast at the end with Layeth, but
Well,
you keep it.
well, I owe you a bottle then. But I mean, not saying that I'm not grateful, but do you think you could have time to pop over to the Sandstone real quick? It's only a couple of streets away.
Yeah, I have a couple hours I can get.
Excellent.
So
And he kind of takes it. And he kind of he has like a corkscrew nearby, because of course he has a corkscrew nearby. Opens it up, and before he even does anything, he kind of like grabs a little glass like underneath the table and like pours something in, and kind of tastes and goes, "Yeah, that's gonna work. That's gonna work." And he begins to kind of go back to helping. He goes, "Just go to the sandstone. Just mention my name to the bartender. She'll know what I need. I have an
okay,
ongoing tab."
all right, sounds good. Um, I'll be back lickety split. And oh, and before I go, I think this belongs to you. And I'm gonna pull out I think it was a necklace.
His wife's heirloom.
Yes. But Toll took. I'm gonna pull
Yeah.
that out and be like, somehow it ended up on my dragon. Um, I think I think you should have it, of course.
And when you lift it up, you see his face like immediately react to the fact that he kind of like uncharacteristically like kind of lunges for it and like grabs and yanks it from you and goes, I thought I lost this. I'm really glad that you were able to give this to me. And I thought I'd searched high and low for this thing. And he kind of like kind of stuffs it in his pocket. And he goes, I really appreciate it. You words can't describe how much that means to me.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm gonna leave,
Okay.
thinking
And
that you I was the one who stole it, so
it wasn't you, it was the dragon.
it was the
You
dragon.
didn't
Yes.
know until you were like 2 days later.
All
Okay.
right.
Now where are you going?
Yeah.
Where are you
I'm
headed?
gonna go into the bar,
Okay.
the
And
sandstone.
so after a couple of side streets there kind of back and forth, you go to the sandstone. This is also a place that you went on episode 1, and we have no
Mhm.
recollection of it. But you are able to enter, and surprisingly, now, I mean, not to say that while you're traveling between these refugee camps that you don't see anybody. There are still kind of squatters and people who are still trying their luck their best, either because there's no room in the refugees for meaningful help, or they're stubborn and they think that they can handle it, like they can handle the zombie apocalypse for themselves and they don't need any help. So there's still people there, but when you go to the sandstone, I mean, you still got your regular crowd of drunkards who are still drinking and everything, and who are still kind of camping out at the sandstone. And there's a couple of tougher, kind of bigger brutes, not necessarily enforcers, but there's some guys outside with weapons to make sure that the zombies stay away. And as they see you approach, they kind of nod and open the door for you so you can enter in safely.
Right? When I go, so how busy is it in the bar when I head in?
Probably about 10 or 15 people. When you went there the first time, there was about, I'd say, close to 40, because it was a sporting event at the time. Or it was at the very end of a sporting event, so it was more busy than usual. Now there's less people than there normally would be at the tavern, especially this time of day. But given the circumstances, it's still surprising that 10 to 15 people showed up.
Okay. Remind me the bartender's name.
I'd love to, because I don't remember. Let me see if I have it written down here somewhere. One moment.
And she was a dwarf. She wasn't a halfling, right?
I believe she was a dwarf. Yes.
Okay.
Trying to think if I. Um, no, I didn't write it down. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we ran into that before, I feel.
Let's see, is
We
there?
we don't even have a video to look back
Oh,
on.
I know that's what the thing is. Um, yeah. Oh no no. Oh yes yes I found it I found it. Atroka. Atroka.
Atroka.
Yes, she is the dwarf.
Atroka.
A very very tough looking, short blonde haired dwarf. Behind the bar is kind of actively like all bartenders do. I think the default for bartenders when you walk in, they have to be cleaning out a like a tanker or something. And so
Yeah, yeah.
she's doing that when you walk in. And
Right,
she
I'm
kind of
gonna
looks and goes,
go.
"Oh, another wayward soul."
You could say that, Patroka. I'm actually here on an errand for Nicholas Jekka. He's needing more dwarven whiskey for
And
antiseptic.
she looks and goes, "Oh, it's been a while since he placed an order. I was honestly a little worried that the events might have taken him, and so I'm really glad to hear that name." And she kind of walks him back. She goes, and she kind of like winks. She goes, "Oh, dwarven whiskey, I get it." And then she like walks into the back and everything, and pulls out a large crate. It has it's like a 3x3 pattern of just like giant bottles of kind of this. The glass is tinted, and it's hard to tell exactly what liquid's inside, but she kind of puts it up there, and she kind of goes, this will do the trick for him. He knows what to do with it.
Oh man, that does not look like dwarven whiskey. And I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
It's a big crate.
It's like I mean it's big in her hands because she's a dwarf, but like with you, it's like a
Oh,
regular like
okay.
milk crate and everything. It's just the bottles fill the entire milk crate of, and
Can I
it's relatively heavy.
can I put it in the bag of holding?
Yeah, I'd say so. As
Yeah.
you grab the bag of holding, you kind of like pull against like this. It's like a little like pouch and everything, but as you kind of pull
Uh-huh.
against the side and you have the intention of putting this in there, the bag almost like widens, like continues to
Oh,
widen as you kind of get it close and you kind of like flip it on top of the milk crate and it disappears into the bag of holding and then boom, you got a bag of holding.
is it like that size,
Hell
did you
yeah.
say?
Yeah, I'd say so. That's exactly the size I was thinking of. So
Nice.
you have a milk crate full of
This in
dwarven
my
whiskey
pocket.
inside your pocket. And while
Uh,
this is happening, all of a sudden you hear some commotion from the men outside, as they're like, "Hey, you stop right there!" And then like you start to hear like the zombie growls and everything, and all of a sudden the whole bar quiets down and looks out the window as the glass is hard to see through. It's not the cleanest, but you see the men that are outside kind of rush forward into the streets, only to hear noises that you wouldn't wish upon anybody. Sounds like the whatever fight that they just kind of joined into, they've lost,
oh
and and
no.
blood kind of splatters up against
Oh.
the window, and the door opens, and there's a man standing there, a man that you recognize, Tab Radakai stands there and he goes and as through the door frame you can see a horde of zombies that are kind of like surrounding the sandstone. And once I move somewhere in my notes.
Oh my
One
hell.
second. So if
How did you
you
get in?
you're like, I'm so sick and tired of this place. I just want to help
I
my
know.
friends. Uh, he
I
he walks
know.
in.
I don't
Uh, he walks in, looks at you, and goes, "A moment of your time, my lady. I believe we met in poor circumstances."
You could say that again. I'm not a fan of your big brother either, but going after these innocent people is where I draw the line.
Um, Frankly, an action that must be taken in this moment, and I'm hoping that I can come to a resolution soon. And he kind of walks over, and he leaves the door frame, and you could tell everyone in the tavern is absolutely just like shell shock. Like not a single person is moved, and they're just kind of their eyes are just watching this event. As outside through the door frame, you can see many zombies, much more than is needed to clean out this entire place. It's obvious that no one's leaving at this time until Cab is done. And he sits down, he kind of taps the bar and points at the bartender. Goes, "A glass for me and my friend." And she kind of like hurries and like kind of starts making something. And he please sit.
Yeah. I'm gonna s- sit a chair away from him at the
I
bar.
know. And he kind of sits and he goes, "I know you because she knows you. I've seen what she's done to you. I've seen what she's done to the ones you love. I've seen the carnage she's delivered to your family. He took advantage of your father when he was on the brink of death and treated her like refuse when he did nothing but serve her to the bitter end. Does that sound about right?
You know nothing, Cap.
And he goes, I have found something at the bottom of the mountain. It's something that I know you're looking for. Something that connects to a mind that I did not foresee originally, but something that allows me to hang on to, if I will. You must think I'm a buffoon, speaking out of turn in matters of which I know nothing about. So let me show you something. And he lifts his hand up, and you can see kind of like the green smoke wrap around his fingers, and he snaps. Now, over the table, DM to the player, you
Mhm.
level up.
What?
You level up. You feel a surge of power coming from what you know to be your patron. It just kind of surges your
Mhm.
body, and you feel your magic gets stronger. You feel your body like actively change to whatever he's done with his snap. And he kind of he kind of smiles once he sees that you've recognized that something has happened to you. And he goes, "I She pretends to despise you, but she knows deep down that you're her only hope. She knows she's
Can I
powerless." Hmm?
sorry, over the table, can I
Yeah.
refuse it? Can I
You want to refuse leveling up? Come on, it's like the one thing players want to do.
I know, but I'm not gonna leech from my patron and have her hold it against me.
I mean, if you want to refuse it, yeah, you can try to suppress the feeling.
I'm gonna
Do
try to
a
suppress the
what
feeling.
type of what type of role will I have you do to suppress leveling up? Do a
I'm not cab, so I'm not gonna take what's not mine.
Interesting. Do a do an Arcana check just to see if you're able to resist.
Come on. Oh, cocked. 14.
You feel the feeling rise in your chest and kind of that the like it's kind of like you feel as if like your body is on the ocean, like that familiar feeling that you
Mhm.
feel before you connect with your patron. But as it kind of comes, you're able to kind of steady your legs and ground yourself again back into reality, and the feeling subsides, and that feeling of kind of like that extra power, that extra magic that wanted like to burn inside your fingertips and like you release becomes uh, dies down until it no longer is there, and you have suppressed leveling up.
Nice. My hands were shaking when I was rolling that.
And so I'll walk back a little bit. He sees that you actively like feel like the little like the power that he's given you, but then when he sees you suppress it, you can tell he kind of gets angry, and he kind of begins to like kind of look at you. Goes, he pretends to despise you, but she knows deep down that you are her only hope. He knows she's powerless against the wills of mortals. She sacrificed her autonomy the moment she attempted to assassinate the Crimson King, no matter how noble her path of revenge may have been. I know who she is, and I also know where her power resides. I can provide you leverage. I can twist her arm, per se, and get you out of your contract. We can bury her below the waves forever, and she has no choice but to drown for eternity, with no one to boss around. And you're just gonna squander that. You're gonna push it away.
You know what I see when I see you, Cap? I see a scared little boy who's weak, who relies on the powers of the dead to get what he wants. I'm not you, Cab. I will never be you. So whatever you want, tell me. But I'm not taking your power. I'm not you. And whatever quarrel you have with your big brother has nothing to do with these people. So say what you want and leave.
And so, and you see he leans back now, and now the glasses have been delivered, and he takes his, and it's both are large glasses of wine, and he takes his and kind of downs the entire drink before kind of putting it back on the table, and goes, "I've seen your father. I've seen the state he was found in, and the good man that tried and took advantage of.
You don't
You've
know
seen
my father.
you've seen my work, both here and on the tower. Work with me and bring this pitiful city down to dust, and I'll give you everything you could ever want. Endless power, servants, the town's coffers, your father from the grave. All you need to do is ask." You just got to help me out.
My father wouldn't want that. And you even offering that shows that you don't know him. You don't know me, and you don't know this pact that I have. So it's gonna be no cap.
He nods. He goes, well, out of respect for you, I'll disperse my dogs. I'll leave this little place as it is, but just know I won't stop. I won't stop until this place is done. And he kind of stands up and he goes, it was nice talking to you. And I really hope that at one point rethink, you rethink this little agreement, um, take some of the power that I provided you because I know people like us, we need it. And he kind of turns
Um,
and he begins to
I'm
leave.
gonna s I'm gonna stop him.
Hmm.
Cab, what is it that you want? I know it's not to give me power. What is it?
I want Emerald to pay. I want to take everything from him. I want to leave him suffering. I want to leave him with only the air in his lungs, and then I want to take that from him as well.
You mentioned your mother on the tower. Where is she now?
And he tenses up. He goes, she's gone. She's buried. She died. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, it's just one other thing we have in common. Have you brought her back?
No, I have not. And you can
And
see
why
he's
is that?
he's kind of curious on why. I don't know where this conversation is going. Yes, frankly, I don't know. I She has earned her rest, as Emerald said.
As ha as my father has earned his. And so the same way reason why you have yet to bring your mother back is why I will never allow my father to be back. And I would hope that you would respect that. You may leave.
And damn, and and at this point he's just uh flustered that the conversation did not go how he wanted, and he turns on his heel and storms the room. And as he walks down the street, the zombies kind of all follow around him, and he is gone on the city street. And just like that, then it takes a couple of minutes before the first patron of the bar takes a shaky little sip of his drink, and as one person does it, then the kind of the rest kind of follows suit, and they all kind of happen to order another shot, and they all happen to
Oh,
they
God.
add a little bit to their tab because that was definitely a little out of their comfort zone, and they're they are the atmosphere returns though wounded.
I'm gonna turn to Petroka. You good?
And she goes, look, he's not the worst that's been in this room. I just am glad that he didn't stick the zombies on us. That's all I can ask for. But I hope that you can get this to Jekka. I hope Jekka can uh, make good for that. Sounds like there's a lot of evil around here.
Mm. All right. Is there anything that I don't have much? Um, are you in need of anything? I have some oil if you need some more
Got some
burning
silk
oil.
rope.
I don't
Uh,
even have that.
and she goes, no. I mean, my husband before he passed had a lot of was worried about the end of the world. Had a lot of food savings underneath. I'm doing my best to feed the people who come in here, though I don't hold it on my sleeve like I should. I'm worried that people would storm my place and ultimately eat me dry. But if I can keep some of these people fed, then I feel like I'm doing the work. So I'm good from where I'm at, and I know where Jekka's
Sounds
house
good.
is. I know he'd help me out if I need to.
Sounds good. It's mighty kind of you. And I'm gonna take my little pouch full of dwarven whiskey and head out.
All right. And where are you heading?
Oh, that was nerve-wracking.
I'm so
I'm
surprised. I'm so surprised at you. I thought you. Interesting. Interesting. Continue. Continue.
I'm gonna head back to Nicholas Jekka's residence to drop off this dwarven whiskey.
Perfect. And while you're doing that, is there any conversation you want to have with Dr. Jekyll, or you just quick trip, small talk, and then leaving?
Oh, yeah, I do. There's something on the table, probably. Um, kind of want to go in and whisper to him and and ask him if he know. Like, well, no, I don't need to whisper it. But I'm like, I want to ask him if he knows Cab.
Who knows Cap? Okay.
Yeah, if he knows him, if anything about Cab.
Yeah. And so you walk in and he's still kind of operating. It's a new person now. He's still kind of doing his best to try to check. But this is kind of the earlier stages where he's kind of poking and prodding and seeing what's wrong with this body. It looks like it's the person that just laid down. He gratefully accepts the bottles and kind of puts them off to the side. And when you ask if he knows Cab, he kind of his brow furrows and he kind of goes, "Oh, I know of Cab. I know of Cab. It was long
He
ago,
was
but."
he was just at the bar with this horde of zombies um, and kind of left everybody shaken up. Um, you said it was a long time ago. What does that mean? Was he a student of yours?
And he um and he kind of sits and he kind of like nods a little bit and he's no longer he's kind of poking and prodding at the body, but it's no longer with his mind, like he's no longer actively doing this. It's just something he's doing with his hands. And he kind of sits, goes, "So it is true, all the rumors that Cab is behind this. I was afraid of that. I used to work for the School of Salutar. I used to, of course, you've known this, you've seen my records. I used to be one of their their head surgeons. I then went to a more anatomy route. I worked in their official coroner's office at the School of Ciliatar, and it was that event that led me to leave. It was that event that was just a little too much. It was shortly after I had come across the death of my daughter and child. A couple of days later, when I went to work, I'd found out the horrors that Emerald had done. The Emerald and his team, his friends had done. It was my room that he was locked in, and it was my fault that
Mhm.
I should have done something. I should have I've locked it better. I could have used two locks. I could have used three. Um, I I had left for the day. I didn't even know what had happened, but I came back the next day, and the events had taken place all in the morning, all that night. I hadn't been there for any of it, but it still hurt me a lot, just to see the trauma that boy had gone through. He was never the same. It's a shame that they treat prestidigitation before anything else. Just some young children. No one could have suspected they'd use it for that evil. But Cab was never the same after that. And seeing that and the carnage that it created, a rift between brothers, it just I was sensitive at the time. I don't know. I feel like I could have navigated it better if I was of more of a right mind, but that was just the last straw. I left. I retired that day when I came back, and just never looked back. I was here, and so it's very unfortunate. I remember that name, and I know what happened.
Hmm. Well, it's not your fault,
I'd like to
but I'm
believe.
sorry it happened.
I hope one day I believe it. And he kind of goes back to kind of messing with the body a little bit. And it's just kind of is quiet now in a different kind of quiet, not a focusing quiet, but more of like a reflecting quiet.
All right. I'm gonna leave. Um, and I'm gonna. Well, Nicholas, I'm gonna or Nicola. It's Nicola. Well, Nicola,
Hmm.
I'm gonna be headed out. I'm headed to Caire, so I'm gonna be gone for a few days. Um, but yeah, if you can't get a hold of me, that's why. But when I get back, I'll be sure to check up on everybody again.
And he nods. He goes, I look forward to it. Safe travels, though.
Thank you, and I'll leave.
Okay.
And I'm gonna head to Emerald Ratikai.
Oh, you're going back? Oh, damn.
I mean,
Um,
I probably have a few more hours. I don't know, or a little
yeah,
bit more
it's
time.
this that's unsettling, but it's not necessarily the time that you were told that the Barracudas would come around. Does it make you feel better that I was shaking during that whole experience on the sandstone? I felt like I was like, but so I feel like I'm still coming down from the adrenaline.
Right.
But okay, you head back to the Cyanidel. No, you head back to the Abbotsia, were you able to kind of do one more check on the refugees now? I mean, you've done a trip to each camp. and you head to Emerald's office. That he's still cloistered in his office, and he's still um, pretending to have busy work so that he doesn't have to face the realities of what he created. You go ahead and walk in.
Yeah, knock and walk in,
Hmm.
and I'm
And
gonna
he kind of
be.
sees you enter, and he goes, "I trust you're here for another lecture."
I'm not your mother. She's long gone.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not your mom. She's dead.
yeah. I'm gonna while I'm speaking, I'm just gonna be messing with the stuff. Like nonchalantly
Yeah,
walking and messing with the stuff on his in his office or on his desk.
yeah. And
Like,
he sees you're kind of like doing like busy work, and he puts his pen down and kind of sits back and folds his arm and goes, "What is this about?"
so your brother showed up at the sandstone
And you see
with
him visibly react to this and kind of is looking around.
with his horde, with his pets, I should say. Can't say one of them isn't your mom. Who's to know? Um, but it's funny to see. It really is funny to think that all of this, all the lives that we've lost, could have been saved if you just apologized. I think an apology is overdue, but I don't think it would change anything. So what do we do to stop Cap?
He looks, he goes, "I have apologized. I apologized profusely. I apologized in front of, I was practically on my knees apologizing, and it wasn't enough for him. At this point, he needs to be stopped. He needs to be behind bars. He needs to be, I don't know, put in a bag somewhere. This is beyond him. This is beyond any sort of action that's redemptionable,
Well,
redeemable. That's
he's
what I
not
meant.
a
Redeemable.
he's not a rat we can just put into a bag. He's a human. That one is probably too big for my bag of holding. And
I
two,
don't know. The bag of holding is pretty big.
yeah. And two, he has a horde of zombies. So you're telling me, I don't know how old you are. You're telling me you have nothing on this guy. You've known him for your whole life and you have no idea how to stop this.
Um, I mean, besides the obvious answer, storming and executing for his crimes. I mean, he kept to himself. I don't know him. He's my brother, but it's not like we got along. It's not like I know him.
All right. Well, I think it'd be a real good morale boost for everyone if they saw their leader in action instead of twiddling his thumbs in his office.
I do what I can.
There's
It's just most of my job is clerical. It's not as flashy as Tannic pelts.
They don't need flashy. They don't need a cleric. Was that what you said? Did
Uh,
clerical work? They
clerical isn't like like clerk work.
they
Like
need
I
a
said,
cleric, but
they do need plenty of clerics.
they don't need a clerk right now. They just need they just need to see that their leader cares, that they're one of the people. You could fake it. A lot of leaders fake it. You're bad at that.
Yeah.
Maybe open your doors. I don't know. I just see I've been here for what? Maybe a week, maybe two. And the little that I've seen of Emerald is that all he does is he covers for his friends and he cares nothing about his people. If I've been here for 2 weeks and feel that, I'm sure a lot of other people are feeling that too.
And he picks up the pen and begins to tap it on the desk impatiently. He goes, you've been here 2 weeks, and I feel like you've done nothing but berate me. And frankly, I don't know why I still respect you so much. I just, I'll take your words if it gets you out of my office faster. But the only way to deal with this blight on Cyanodel's history is at the end of a sword. I fear. And the moment that I can free enough manpower, the moment I can get all these undead out of my town, is only the sooner that I'll be marching up to his doorstep like he did mine, and I'll be issuing the same treatment that he treated me. And I hope that I can rely on you being one of the first warriors, because I trust your blade.
I'll take care of Cab as long as you take care of your people.
And with this, he really can't argue with it, and he kind of just nods, and he he softens because he knows that he's been read like a book, and he kind of just he's uncomfortable now. He just wants you to leave.
Okay. Well, I really hope that I really hope that you're able to do some good here, Emerald. I'm gonna be headed out of town. So I'll be gone for a few days. Um, but yeah, I'll be back. You take care, and I leave.
All right. And now, with the sun resting on the horizon, I mean, it's about nighttime now. It's about time for you to get in position if you're going to stop these barracudas from getting in. Is there anything else you want to do before potentially going to the infiltration spot?
Nope. I'm
No. All
I'm
right.
on my way.
There
I'm
you
headed
are,
that
going to
way.
bust a drug deal in Dungeons and Dragons. All right, give me a second while I
No, GTA
here.
this.
1 second while I get this taken care of. All right, I'm going to start loading up the virtual tabletop in a moment. And once I make sure everything is looking good. Okay. I think. Oh, wait, hold on. One moment. In the meantime, tell us a joke, Megan.
All right, so there's two rangers. They're walking through tumbleweed forest. And
Tumbleweed
they come
Forest.
across a
Oh, even a
well.
story. Okay, all right.
they, they come across a well. One of the rangers goes and he drops a stone down into the well, and they put their ear up to it, and they don't hear anything. They're waiting, and they don't hear it hit the bottom.
Mhm.
And one of the rangers he turns to the other one, and he's like, "Man, this well must be pretty deep." And so they go and they pick up a larger stone, and they throw it into the well, and they sit, they wait, and hear nothing. And they're like, "Geez, how long does this well go?" And they're looking around, and they're like, "Oh, there's a railroad tie right there. Let's throw that in." So they go and they pick up the railroad tie,
Mhm.
and they chuck it into the well, and they're waiting. And then as they're waiting, all of a sudden they see this goat wailing in the distance, and he's running, and he jumps into the well. And we're like, "What the heck? Did that goat just jump into the well?" And then
No clue where this is going.
they turn, and a farmer comes up, and he's like, "Oh, hey fellas, have you seen my goat around here?" And they're like, "Oh, well, this goat just fell into the well." And he was like, "Oh, that's not possible. He was tied to a railroad tie."
Kidding me? Okay, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, we're going to the VTT now. Let's go.
Nice.
Okay, so this is the area in which you were told to go
Okay.
for the Barracuda showing up. Ultimately, if I had explained a little bit of this map here, these kind of grayer things are houses that are nearby, but more importantly, where you see all these rocks and this kind of this wall here, this is where this is where the city wall is, and of course there's a hole in this wall, and that's why and
Um,
that leads out. Now I want you to choose where you want to stand to kind of get like an idea of where you are, and then I want you to roll an investigation check to see what you can see.
I'm gonna jump up on top of this on the building.
Okay, perfect.
Right? That's a building you said?
Yes, those are buildings.
Okay. I'm gonna jump up on there.
Okay, and now I want you to roll an investigation check.
19.
19. Oh, hell yeah. So you begin to get a layout of the land here, and you're going to notice that there are a couple of zombies that are that are just kind of wandering around. You can see some that are outside of the gate, some that are around kind of just the city streets and everything. But most importantly, you do kind of as you're listening, you hear a much larger creature here. Um, Over a couple streets over, you see much larger
Oh
than these
God.
skeletons, a minotaur skeleton, which is just a much more bovine-like skeleton that's kind of walking around dragging a club behind him, and all of these undead are just kind of just doing whatever they want, really. Like there's really not any rhyme or reason that to them doing their thing, but eventually you do start to hear the noise of what sounds to be like it sounds like horses kind of walking along like a dirt path, as well as kind of the overall like rumble of carts being pulled, and you start to hear a group of men heading towards the mountain, or towards the mouth of this little tunnel here. And I'd say right about there. Oh, I want this button. Right there is where you start to see some of these people start coming into view. Now, at this point, what would you like to do? Is there anything that you want to do before they kind of get up into here, get up into
Yeah.
you?
I want to, yeah, I want to jump to this other building,
Okay.
like that,
Mm-hmm.
stealthily if possible. And
Roll a stealth
then
check.
I want, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I
We'll
should have
see how
just said,
stealthily that you move.
I should have just said, it's the dead of night. No one can see me. All right, let's see. That was a natural one.
No way.
Yep.
That's a natural one.
Yep.
Um, as you jump, um, the thatch roof, or kind of like the roofing that's on this building, gives way underneath your foot, and you end up not making it to the other side, but instead kind of hit this wall. Now, I want you to be completely healed. You've had time to kind of
Yeah.
recuperate, so you have a long rest. I don't know if
Mm.
I had you long rest before, but at this point, I want you to take 3 damage because you hit this
Oh
wall
gosh.
and you fall onto the road here, right where the skeleton kind of notices you, and it kind of turns and begins to kind of this like curiously like check you out because you're on the floor prone, and he's checking to see if you're still alive.
I'm gonna I'm gonna try to act dead.
Gonna act dead. Okay,
Yeah,
do a
like
performance check.
I'm gonna try to like slow my breathing. All right, you rolled an at one just now, but then you want to roll an at one twice.
Yeah,
All
of
right,
course, of
fine.
course.
Ornaments. Ooh, this is where my warlock skills come in handy.
Oh yeah, charisma-based spellcasters.
It
Why are
wasn't
you
an at
laughing?
one, but it was a two, so that was a six.
A 6. I mean, your charisma booster was there. The skeleton begins to kind of approach a little bit. We'll zoom in a little bit. And I'm just gonna have kind of the environment react around you. At this point, the noise has attracted. Um, oh shoot, these two zombies kind of be moving up a little bit. Um, this guy is just kind of doing his thing, and then this group, of course, is kind of heading a little closer. And the skeleton begins to kind of get a little closer here, and I mean it's holding its little sword in its hand, and it begins to kind of almost like kind of scratch at the dirt next to you, just like curiously, like it doesn't know what to do with this dead body that has fallen from the sky here, and it's just kind of is curious just to know what it does. And so it's your turn again. How
All
are you gonna
right,
react to this?
I'm going to telepathically speak to Toll
Yeah.
and tell him to dart out of my pocket in the in like to go like that, to go around the
Okay.
corner.
All right. So he books it around the corner, zoom,
Yeah,
and
to try to draw attention.
yeah. And the skeleton immediately sees kind of that blinding. I mean, it's a technicolor dragon. Even in dark light, it still is kind of he's a little shiny and everything. And it sees this kind of shining bolt dash around the corner, and he begins to chase after it. Leaves you, comes right here. and the zombies see that as well, and they begin to kind of chase a little bit. And as they get to like right around here, this is when this bandit up at the top sees the zombies, and he kind of you can tell from where you're kind of laying on the floor. He kind of like shushes and kind of holds his hand up to have like the party, so like his little group of people slow down. And he kind of is sitting there, and they're waiting very like pensively in order for to see if these zombies will just kind of move without them necessarily having to engage. It's your turn again, or
All right.
what are you looking to do now?
So now I'm looking to slowly get up and jump on the building
Excellent, excellent. Um, okay, and
if I
then
can.
are you trying to do it stealthily, or are you just trying to jump?
Yes, I'm trying to do it stealthily. All right,
Okay,
let's
okay.
see. Okay, let's see. That was a dirty 20.
A dirty 20, hell yeah. So you jump up, no problem. No problem. You're kind of just sitting there on the house now. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to move your guy.
Oh, you're good. That was me. I was
Uh,
just moving him.
and
Um,
from this angle, you notice another enemy here. There is a person that's already kind of stationed up on the wall and is watching not only the party but also like the incoming barracudas, but also just kind of the way around. It's kind of like this person is kind of like in the crow's nest per se, kind of just kind of gauging where
mm,
things are around. And you now, and I guess at this point, um, they're progressing just ever so slightly into the tunnel here as these zombies and these skeletons begin to kind of get closer to Toll, who's just kind of sitting there
yeah.
in this
All
house
right.
post.
Is it my turn?
It is.
Oh, okay. So mm, I want to, I'm gonna dissipate Toll, if that's the word. I'm just
Hmm.
gonna make him go away. And then I'm gonna come over here. Oh, I want to come over here. Okay, I see that guy. So I want to maybe go on my belly.
Okay.
To,
All right.
so I'm like creeping.
Yeah.
And I want to come over here. And I want to take one of the, what is it? The alchemist fire.
Yes.
And I want to throw it. Let me get my ping.
You can
Over
throw it within
here.
20 feet of yourself.
Oh, where am I? How should
Whenever
I determine how far the building doesn't have the squares? Oh, but we
use
have
the
the
ruler
ruler.
tool. Yeah, use the ruler
Okay,
tool and just crank it out. Yeah.
let's see. 20 feet, you said?
20 feet.
Okay, that's 17 feet. So I want to throw it. Yeah. Did you see the ruler?
I can't see your ruler, but
Oh,
what
okay.
I can see, I'm trying to think of, trying to see,
So you have to
very
trust
much
me.
succeed on a dexterity saving throw. I like to. I mean, it doesn't necessarily say there's splash damage to it, and in my mind I was thinking there was splash damage to it. I want you wherever you choose to throw it, use the circle overlay and make a 10 foot. What is this? A 10 foot. How big is 10 feet? Yeah, I'll let it be a 10 feet. A 10 feet radius of where the fire. Should I make it 10 feet or should I make it smaller? 5 feet radius of where
Okay.
fire damage is, and you can even change if you wanted the pattern to have the fire icon. But
Oh,
wherever you
cool.
choose to throw it, just make a little overlay of 5 feet, and that'll be where you throw it. And I'll trust that you know the distance.
Okay, so, oh, I'm gonna do, oh shoot, now I gotta do it. Okay.
I gotta make sure. Yeah, now I give you a little tutorial. Now you have to do it.
Dang it. That is a square.
I mean, maybe it's an interesting alchemic fire. It's all magic around here, right?
Where'd I? Right there. And
Oh, wow, nice.
I want to throw it there to try to lure this Minotaur skeleton.
Oh, okay, okay. And so
Okay.
this fire, so you chuck the bottle off the roof. It hits right there, and immediately these zombies are no longer distracted by Toll, but instead notice this fire and they begin to kind of run over here 5, 10,
Oh,
15, 20,
dang it. I didn't think about
25.
you guys.
This Minotaur, who was walking away, kind of stops and turns around to see the kind of fire that's engulfing this area. Begins to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Check it out. But even this person right here, all of a sudden kind of hears that noise and they begin to stealthily kind of move around here like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then it kind of comes over and like peeks ever so slightly over the wall just to see that there's all of a sudden this fire that's right here. And she begins to kind of look around and see, trying to see if she can spot anyone. So now when her head kind of goes to the roofs, do you want to be making sure that you're staying hidden? Like, do you want to do anything more to stay hidden or
I'm
potentially
just on.
allow her to see you
Yeah, I think. Is there any rubble on this roof?
on the roof?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Okay, then I'm just gonna stick to my belly and hold my breath and really hope I don't hear someone yell.
Okay. I'm going to do a investigation check for the assassin real quick. They glance along the roofs and then kind of look back over at the fire before she kind of walks back over. Kind of it begin not as like sneakily as before, but she begins to kind of walk back over to her original spot to see if the to watch the people come travel through.
All right. Okay, now it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's see. Let me get my ruler. 30 and then the zombie. Okay, I am going to army crawl this way
Okay. Okay.
to the
Staying
zombie.
stealthy, or you
Yes,
just okay? Roll a stealth check.
just 13
13. Okay. 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 Yeah. I mean, you're staying stealthy-ish. Yeah.
ish.
And as you move, the assassin kind of her ears pick up, kind of perk up, and she begins to kind of look in your general direction, not necessarily spotting you per se, but is aware that that there may be something on the roof.
All right, and then I'm gonna use find familiar. The
Hmm.
toll comes back.
Okay.
I
Oh yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
how to get him
I'm in
back.
charge of. I'm in charge of the
And
Zoom.
I'm gonna send him. I'm like, okay, bud, your job is to direct the all these zombies and put them into the tunnel over there, okay? And I'm gonna launch, well, not launch him, but kind of just like shoot my arm out that way so he knows which direction
Yeah.
to go. He's
Okay.
gonna run and jump over
Excellent.
here.
Excellent. And
And
so
he's gonna do a
now,
little scurry
yeah, he's doing a
around.
little thing. I want you to just make it look like what he was doing right now.
He's doing
I like
this,
it. I
and then
like
he's
it.
like,
Okay, I dig it. And so at this point, the Minotaur skeleton has kind of showed up here. The fire of the alchemist's fire has died down at this point, but the zombies and the skeletons see what's going on, and they begin to kind of uh, chase Toll here into the mouth of the cave.
all right, he's gonna be there. And
Perfect. All
and
right.
that's my turn.
Okay. And so now the assassin sees that the zombies have suddenly started moving here. And I mean 5, 10, 15, 20. Kind of coming over here, and you begin to see she's kind of like making little hand signs to maybe have them slow down. But the group isn't necessarily seeing it as they begin to come in. And all of a sudden, at this point, now the head bandit here, as well as the bandit captain that's on the first wagon, see that there are zombies here and begin to kind of to react accordingly. Oh, I'm trying to do this. Ungroup. So this thug from down here is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, and this bandit here, and they kind of pull out their swords, and they're at this point thinking that really it looks as though they're about to kind of engage in combat, but they don't necessarily see Toll.
Okay.
Your turn.
Now I'm gonna say, oh, you forgot one. And he's gonna fly 5. Oh no. Because then they're gonna come back over there. All right, Toll is gonna stay there.
Hmm.
I'm gonna move. Um, I'm gonna move over here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna throw. Oh my god! I'm gonna throw another alchemist fire. Let me just
Okay.
double check. Mm, oh, whoops.
I mean, I like that. That overlay is cool too.
Oh, goodness. Okay, overlay this one like that.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
again with the freaking zombies. I've already said it. Go ahead.
I
Act
mean,
accordingly.
okay, okay. So at this point, with the kind of noises here, these zombies are going to kind of start heading over a little bit this way. This Minotaur skeleton, of course, kind of comes around the corner now, and is continue to be led by this fire. The zombies are still kind of focused on Toll, but this skeleton is going to kind of take a look over here. But I am going to, hold on, I'm going to do this here just to kind of organize things a little better. I'm going to start an encounter. I'm going to start
Okay.
initiative pretty much. I want you to roll for initiative just so I can keep track of you in here. And is Toll going to be operating with you or without you, or independently, I guess?
He's gonna. He can go with. He'll go. He could go with me. That's
Okay.
okay. 17.
17. Heck yeah. Okay. So we are in combat now. It is your top of the round here. What do you want to do?
All right. I'm gonna move back over. How far can I throw fire? It's 10 feet.
20 feet.
20 feet. Oh, okay. Can since we're in the same, can I have Toll go first?
Yeah. Yeah, you can have Toll go first. I'm trying to move him out of the way before you start firebombing.
I, I didn't say how many people are in the room. I said cast fireball.
Fireball.
All right. He's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I
Okay.
saw that. No, that was
And then
very
he's gonna fly up onto this other roof.
okay. Excellent. All right. I like it. Now, are you going to do so? That was Toll's turn. Now, what are you going to be doing?
Well, now I'm going to. Okay.
So you've used 2 alchemist fires so far.
Mhm. I'm gonna throw another one.
I like it. I like it. Right.
Right there.
Perfect. Excellent. So, you huck another bottle over off the rooftop, and it hits the ground and shatters, igniting this area in fire. And this zombie immediately kind of at first it like kind of jumps back a little bit in fear, but eventually it still attracts them and it kind of gets them a little interested, and they start going. And this Minotaur also going to follow here. Actually, hold on. Wait a second. This ruins the whole fact of me putting things into initiative. 1 second. I'm just having everyone do whatever they want. That goes there. And now I'm going to. The next room is a skeleton. Skeleton is going to move here. 5, 10, 15. Get closer there. This bandit here is going to. He kind of backs up in shock as all of a sudden this ground is lit in fire, and he's going to move back a little bit. This Minotaur is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Move up here. Who's now very interested in whatever's happening over here. This thug is going to 5, 10, 15. Kind of get closer. He recognizes that something's afoot here, and he's stepping up to the occasion. Where zombie A is going to 5, kind of get closer. Zombie B stays there. Zombie C, hey, going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And zombie D, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to start running up here. So now we have a couple more people joining the fray here. Mainly the assassin now, who recognizes that something is up and is able to kind of pinpoint your direction a little better here. And she's actually going to pull out her. You see her kind of fiddle with something in her bag, and she pulls out a light crossbow, and she kind of is scanning the rooftop, trying to see where you are, but can't. You don't really see her eyes like lock onto your target there, and so she is going to fire a light crossbow with disadvantage because she doesn't know exactly where you are. Does an 11 hit you?
No.
The crossbow bolt fires from her crossbow, and you hear kind of clank against the rooftop nearby, but not necessarily close to you. So you can kind of assume that she might not know exactly where you are at this point, and that's going to be the end of her turn. It is now your turn.
All right, I'm gonna Toll's gonna go.
Okay.
What is this thug that's right there? What is he wearing?
He, I mean, if you're talking about the picture and everything, it's actually kind of cool looking. It's like a metal armor with like a really big like kind of cross like kind of section that protects his chin and everything. I'm trying to think if I can go to the full detailed page. I think the thug looks kind of cool, but let me see if I can do something here. Here. Whoops. Whoa. And then I'm going to right here. Here, I don't know if you can take a look at watch the stream here, but I'll get this right here. And then I will fade here. That's what the thug is wearing. And he has this cool like metal like collar around him. And I didn't realize, I thought it was his hair. It actually is like a little like
Oh,
cap on top of him. And for whatever reason, he has a little dragon snake on him. I'm all for. I'm all for. This dude's just rocking it.
he has a dragon on him.
Well, at least in this picture. And in this instance, he does not have a dragon on him. But in the picture on the monster manual, he has a
Oh,
little
okay.
dragon on him.
All right. Well, Toll's gonna see that this thug is rather shiny,
Yeah.
and he's going to launch himself
Oh, I see why you're asking
right,
now. How shiny is this thug?
right in between where that collar is and his head. He's going straight for the face.
Okay. All right. Is he looking for anything in particular?
Well,
Just
he's
the shiniest
upset.
thing.
He's upset that the thug has shiny things and he does not.
I get you. Okay.
So
All right.
he
So
is
he.
going to stab him with his tail.
Oh, dang. Okay. All right.
He's
Roll for
going.
attack.
I think you just need to do a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
thug.
Constitution saving throw. That is a 15.
All right. Well, he succeeds. So
Oh, heck yeah.
you
Wait,
you
the
do
thug succeeded or Toll
y-
succeeded?
the thug succeeded.
Oh, dang. I was
I don't
hoping
know
he gets
why I tried
stung.
sting. So
Oh,
he
man.
just now launched onto his face. He's
Yeah.
latched on, but he's gonna try to scurry and do a sleight of hand check down this man's body.
Okay, okay.
Oh, is it a dexterity?
Yes, dexterity.
Okay. It's a 10.
A 10.
Just a 10.
He is able to as he begins to scurry into the thug's suit of armor, and the thug who was all like ready to like get into battle and everything is all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, there's something in me, and he kind of like begins to freak out a little bit. um Cole is able to kind of rummage around and find a coin purse that is tied to his belt near his like where his sword hilts would be, and is able to kind of he like snips the string with his mouth and kind of has this coin purse now in his mouth here, and kind of I mean, for the purpose of he has a coin, like a small coin purse, like kind of wrapped around him. He wraps it around his neck somehow that he still has access to his mouth and he can bite, but he now holds a bag with a little bit of jingling in it.
Nice. All right, so that's Toll. He's
Okay,
just chilling in there. Um, I don't really want. Let me. Can I strike somebody within 15 feet? Let me see. Yeah, not good. Mm, okay. Um, I want to cast. I want to cast. Mm, no, no. I'm gonna throw another. I'm gonna throw another
okay.
bomb.
I like it. I like it.
Okay, let me see. No, actually, scratch that. I want to jump over here.
Tip over where?
Can I jump over
Oh,
here?
what? Okay, okay.
So 5. Okay, let me get my ruler again. All right, that's 42 feet where I want to go.
Hmm.
I'm going to cast jump on myself to be able to do that.
Perfect. And then I want you to put your marker where you jump. Oh, heck yeah. All right.
I'm gonna jump
You're
there.
much closer now to the action.
Is that a bonus action or an action?
Um, I
I feel like
think.
when we were talking, we were saying it was a bonus action because it doesn't necessarily say
Yeah, I
that
think
it's
we
an
were treating it
action.
as a bonus action. I will
Okay.
treat it as a bonus action. You're jumping as a bonus action.
All right, now I'm gonna.
Now
Oh,
you're gonna start
mm,
firebombing.
yeah, now I'm gonna start firebombing. So let me.
At this point, I'm gonna say that the. Oh yeah, yeah. Move that. That way, it's like the other one disappeared and a new one is now appearing right there. Dang.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Right there.
Pick up the stats for a draft horse real quick. Let's see.
Oh,
Okay, so when
poor buddy.
when the target when target one reaches I don't know what I just said right there. When it's thrown down, the anybody in that circle needs to do a dexterity saving throw. Um, which is going to be a well, it's going to be off of your dexterity saving throw on plus your dexterity modifier and proficiency bonus. So, what is your dexterity modifier?
+2.
Plus two. What's your proficiency bonus?
Where do I see that?
That is going to be once I find out where your proficiency bonus is. Hey, where the heck is it?
Wait, did you say saving throw modifier? And then,
So it's gonna be just your dexterity modifier. So just your regular dexterity modifier.
okay, that's a +2, I am pretty sure,
Okay.
because it's
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
seeing here
top.
on a +2,
Okay.
but I don't know where the. I don't know. I feel like I knew what it was at one point. Oh, proficiency. It's right there next to your walking speed. Proficiency bonus +2.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yes,
No
plus
worries.
2.
No, it took me a while to find where it was too. So that's gonna be 4 plus the 8, so they have to make a dexterity saving throw of 12. Yes. In order to, and if they fail,
They die?
no, they take 1d4 fire damage plus they start burning.
They get a little taste of the hells before they go.
Oh yeah. And so we're going to do so it lands on, is that as far as you can throw it? Just at that horse?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. The horse is gonna make a dexterity saving throw. It's a +0 to that, so I'm gonna roll. Roll a 9, which means that it is now on fire.
oh
The
no.
the bottle lands next to the horse and erupts in flames. The horse kind of rears back as kind of the liquid that is on fire is now kind of on its hooves and its feet and everything. It begins to kind of run and jump, um, backing up this cart here. Oh hey, can I group these together? The horse moved backwards, backing up the caravan here. I I, I don't have an initiative spot for that horse, but that's what that once happens here. And the horse is now still on fire, even though it has left the ring. And then is that your turn? Is there anything else you want to do during your turn?
That's my turn.
Perfect. Skeleton here now sees this fire is going to 5, 10, 15. Go up to this thug and is going to attack with a short sword with a that hits doing. Trying to breeze through this for the thug. -4 damage. So the skeleton kind of runs up now while everything is kind of going down here. Runs up and slices a sword, and the thug is too busy trying to figure out where this dragon is that's inside of his clothing that he gets smacked with the skeleton, and the skeleton successfully hits. We're gonna go to Bandit A. He realizes now that something weird is going on. He gets 5, 10. Goes to the skeleton. He's going to attack with his
Bandit
scimitar.
A,
Mm-hmm.
his name is Timote.
Emote. Oh, how do I spell that? Timo, Timo,
E.
Tee, or just one E?
Just one E.
Timote. He was hoping this would be, I mean, he's part of the Barracudas. The thugs are the ones that are hired here. He's earned his place to be part of the Barracudas, and he is. I mean, he wasn't expecting any damage, any sort of fighting here, but he's ready to kind of put his blade to his word, and so he runs up and attacks the skeleton with. Actually, he does not attack the skeleton. He swings the sword, and the skeleton totally misses, and he does not hit. Okay, which means the next bandit here, all the way back here on this. We just kind of move the camera here. I move it like that. This bandit, and you think of a name for him. He sees that the cart in front of him begins to move backwards. He's going to
Just still.
back still.
Just
Interesting.
still.
Spell that. On what side?
Just.
Just.
Il.
Il. Just still.
Are they from Cyanidel?
Um, I mean, I'm trying to think of if you would know that. I don't think you really would know if they're from
Okay.
Silent or not. And so he begins to kind of move the cart a little bit, trying to get out of the way of the bandit captain that's moving here. He's not going to do anything at this time, but this Minotaur skeleton is. And he's going to 5, 10, 15, 20. He kind of steps out into the street here. He can't move because there's zombies in front of him, but he looks and he sees these two horses that are um, I mean, he likes beating up big things, and he sees the doors that he's gonna go for them. This
They're
thug
his
here,
brothers or his
no, he's a
cousins.
cow. He's a
He's
cow.
in oh. Oh, I was thinking, what was I thinking of?
You're probably thinking a
And
centaur. How about you anything?
I was thinking of a centaur.
This thug is gonna try to attack Toll. Even though he is underneath his armor, he's still gonna try to like beat on his armor where he can. And he's gonna do with his mace with a 10 hit Toll.
I bet you it doesn't. It does not.
Toll is too quick. And so he
He's a
starts kind of beating
slimy
up
little
on,
fellow.
he's hitting his own body with his mace, trying to like identify where this dragon is in his body. He just can't seem to land a good hit. His armor is too tough, which means that we're gonna now move to zombie A, going 5, 10, 15. Get up to Timote, he's gonna slam Timote, and this zombie's just looking for a good time. That is
You say that after he says you say he's gonna slam Timote. He's just
yeah.
looking for a
He's
good
looking
time.
for a good. I mean, any day, any good day, a zombie can find someone to slam. It's a good day to be a zombie. Let's be real. Zombie A does not land
Ooh,
though. He's not lucky.
finally
He's not
something
lucky.
fresh.
Sick and tired of all these corpses. We can find Timote. This guy's gonna run 5, 10, 15, 20. Kind of run up this way. Zombie C. Oh, zombie C. Oh, I went too far. Zombie C is going to move over 5, 10, 15, 20, kind of at the edge of this wagon here. And then zombie D going to 5. Start climbing, trying to climb up into the cavern that's the one that Just Steel is going into. At this
He's trying to
point,
climb up into just still.
he's trying to get in there. I mean, zombies only want one thing, and it's disgusting.
Any orifice would work.
This wagon starts coming in over here, and it's trying
Oh,
to kind
there's
of move
another
around.
one.
There was 3 wagons. There was 3 wagons.
Jeez. Which one has the
So,
drugs? Well, I guess
uh,
we'll get that to my turn.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, we're gonna add this real quick. Boom. Okay. So now with the next going over, the assassin here is now seeing kind of everything that's going on. The assassin is going to there's bigger fish to fry right now, and so the assassin is going to try to attack the Minotaur skeleton because this one kind of seems like the largest problem here, and that is going to be a success. She knocks an arrow into her crossbow, pulls it back, lets it loose down at the Minotaur skeleton, and it pierces kind of into like the shoulder, like the clavicle of the Minotaur. I don't know if Minotaurs would have clavicles because their bodies aren't not the same as us. And that does 6 damage. One
Jeez.
moment. Yes, immunity is 2 poison, so it only does 6 damage here, because apparently skeletons can't be poisoned. And
That is good to know.
that's gonna be a second attack actually, because she's gonna multi-attack into another crossbow bolt, and that hits with 9 damage over to the Minotaur skeleton. Okay, so the skeleton kind of gets shot twice in the body and is confused and kind of looks up towards the wall. But the assassin uses the bonus action to hide. She's going to roll. Oh wait, hold on. Dun, dun,
Nancy?
dun. She's going to hide real quick. Once I once I do this real quick. No, I want this. She tries to hide, but you can still kind of see where she's at. She doesn't hide successfully. All right, it's Marlo. Your turn. Yours and Toll's turn.
All right, I'm going to. Oh, let me get my little guy. 5'10". I'm gonna look over. Can I? Are the drugs visible? Like, can I see any of
Do an investigation check.
them? That's a 12.
You can see that all 3 carts have crates in them. But it's
Okay,
not obvious on if all 3 crates have drugs or which crates have the drugs. But all three wagons are full of crates.
gotcha. I I want to throw another one.
Okay. move the overlay that you have on the table.
Let's see. And with the goal to hit a crate and make the drugs burn so
Oh.
everyone gets high. But
Oh, interesting. Okay.
but to burn and destroy. They don't
Yeah.
need to get they don't need to see hallucin whatever. Um,
Wait, hold on. Ha hallucinations?
yes,
They don't
hallucinations.
need to hallucinate. That's what the word I was looking for is. They don't need to
But they
hallucinate. Okay.
can if they want.
Oh, I see. I
Or
see.
if they're forced to.
I know. Only if they want to. So this bandit captain oh shoot, is caught in the fray here. He is going to roll what was it, Constitution, a Dexterity saving throw to beat the 12 that we have here. Where is the? Oh, actually, I don't think he's in combat yet. There, add. No, that's what I want. I want Dexterity saving throw.
He's kind of cute,
Hey, whoa,
that
whoa, whoa!
bandit
This is a bad guy. We
captain.
this is a bad guy. Um, he beats the he beats the saving throw. As in, when the bottle comes down, he jumps ship, and so he like jumps off as a reaction. And the cart erupts in flames as the horse also is freaking out. And lots of stuff is going down here. The horse begins to kind of take oh no the horse the cart's on fire, the horse is on fire, a lot of fire is going on in that little area. uh wow. Let's see, how much health does a yeah we're 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 cooking here, we're cooking here. And
Literally.
Toll's turn. What is Toll gonna be doing?
Cole is going to crawl back up, look eye to eye with this thug,
Yeah.
whose name is
Mm,
Jeffrey. But
Jeff, high fantasy Jeffrey.
his street name is Lil JJ. Because he can't go by Jeffrey on the
No, he
streets.
can't. No, that's how you get
Um,
beat up. He's a little
yeah.
JJ.
So he goes, he looks him dead in the eye and bites the crap out of his nose.
I
So
like it.
let's see if
Let's
it
see if he
works.
does.
Does a 22 hit Jeffrey?
22 does hit. It hits
Nice.
hard.
Okay. And then for the second one, well, he's gonna go for the next best thing, which would be his eyes.
Dang. Okay. All right, all
Does
right.
a does a 14 hit?
14 hits.
Nice.
Go ahead
Okay.
and roll for damage for both.
1, 2, 5, 6. That's 12.
12 for both? Is that 12 for both?
Yeah, 12 for both.
Excellent. Okay. The 12 damage. Little JJ is trying to find out where this dragon is. All of a sudden, it crawls back out of his little cup and just bites the crap out of his face, and even onto one of his eyeballs. And you can see him just kind of scream to her, "Oh, it's on me! It's on me!" And everyone else and Timotei is like, "Yeah, zombies! They're all over the place." And we're gonna now move over
It's
to Bandit Captain here, who now is very aware that something else is going on. And so that's how many, I believe that's 4 bombs that you've thrown off right now, right?
yes.
Okay, and you have a total of 6 remaining.
Yep.
And the bandit captain is going to attack the zombie here. He's going to attack with a scimitar. That hits, and he's going to multi-attack, so we're just going to go to the other one. That one also hits with the zombie, yeah.
His
And
name's
so,
Jefferson.
so there's a Jeffrey and that's the real reason why I had to go by little JJ, because there's a Jeffrey and a Jefferson, and they were tired of trying to go back and forth on who is the right Jefferson, because they both originally go by Jeff, and so it's hard. Like, are you the Jefferson? Are you the Jeffrey? And but Bandit Captain, he has tenure, and so he's like, no, you're going by little JJ. I like Jefferson too much. It was my father's name. All right, and we're going to that's a total of 8, 9, 11, 12 damage to the zombie. and he just starts slicing the zombie up to ribbons and everything with his scimitar. He's doing big damage here. But the skeleton's going to keep on going. Is now going to go for Timote, who's right here, and with his short sword, that hits just barely. Timote got distracted with the whole zombie thing. He thought his friend was being freaky
Oh,
about the
sorry.
zombies, and so he turns. He's like, "Yes, there's zombies all over the place." And then he gets smacked the crap out of with the skeleton here. So the skeleton, but the skeleton kind of gets Timote pretty hard, and so with the blade coming down, Timote like kind of he gets slashed pretty hardcore. Which means actually it's Timote's turn. He's going to retaliate, trying to get this skeleton, and with a scimitar attack, and it does well. He does attack with hell yeah. He retaliates, grabs the scimitar out of his own hand, and begins to and slashes against the skeleton pretty hard, severing kind of wedging deep into one of the arms, kind of making a big gash, and some marrow decides to bleed out. If that's how marrow works, if you're on a
Oh.
dead skeleton, and so Jasteel now is going to starts swatting at the zombie that's kind of climbing up into his cart. He's like, I'm not going to slam today. I got slammed last night. I'm still recovering from the
How
last
sad.
slam. And he was able to hit with 5 damage here. And so, but Zombie D is tenacious, and he is going to. I mean, he's gonna shoot a shot at least a couple of times. I mean, granted, rules of consent
It's
are still here,
Sally.
but
Sally made a
Sally's back.
reappearance.
Sally's back, and she's looking to slam. Exactly. She. Oh no, I forgot now. Um, she's busy now. She's she's working the streets. She's trying to slam. She's got business to attend to. Minotaur skeleton here is going to run forward 5, 10, 15. Is gonna at this point, I mean, there's one guy for him to attack, and it's not gonna look pretty if this actually goes through. He's going to slam here. Um, One moment while I calculate. That does hit. That does hit. Yee. Ooh. For 24 damage, which is more than Timote had to begin with.
Oh
Um,
no.
Timote goes slashes back at the skeleton. He's like, and he kind of gets a little like bolstering. He goes, yeah, yeah, eat that skeleton. And this Minotaur skeleton comes over, big old fist, boom, and and Timote is gone. Timote is gone. We named him and everything, and he's gone.
He
He is
probably
he
had he probably had some kids back home.
No, no,
Probably was
he
only
he was
joking.
he was just on his own. He was trying to I mean, he was meeting some people at taverns, but nothing really was going well. But mostly because his
Oh,
standards were too high. He was looking for someone that would enforce traditional kind of gender roles, and just frankly, that's just not the time anymore. And so he's
yeah.
all, women just aren't gonna cook me gruel anymore. I don't get it these days, and it wasn't really in the cards for him. Don't feel too
He was
bad.
like that angry drunk
Yeah,
in the bar who's
he
always
was.
trying to talk to someone like, "Oh, they totally that was a flag on the plate," and he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know the
No,
sport.
he doesn't even know what game he's playing. And so
They're
it's
playing
not look.
golf, and he thinks that they're
It's
playing
like, come on, that's a
football.
foul. That's a foul. Little JJ is still has a dragon on him, and he's going to attack. This time throwing the throwing the mace at his face area
His face.
to get the dragon here. It does a 19 hit.
It does hit full, which I would think would knock little JJ on his feet. But yes, it does hit full.
Well, luckily Toll was there, or else he would have just smacked himself straight in the face. It does 6 damage to Toll, as the mace comes
Oh,
through and squishes him like a squeaky toy.
sad.
But he's still there. He's still
He's
alive.
still there. Still there.
And does the familiar feel pain, or is this at one point like the energy that's used to collect him into a physical form just disappear at one point, and he just like poof?
That's a good question.
Does the
Like,
familiar feel pain? Because if he's just like a
would
spirit,
would I guess would Trident make it so he felt pain? So I don't know.
And I feel like
I'll
Titan
leave
would
that
have a
up to
soft
you.
spot for dragons. He doesn't feel pain. Toll is just
Like,
a little ball of energy who's just trying to collect as many shiny things as possible.
okay, sorry, that took me a little bit.
No
I
worries.
adjusted his hit points.
Excellent. Which means this next thug up here is gonna kind of rush down on Sally. I mean, a job has got to be done, no matter if the zombie's trying to get lucky now. So, he's
At
as
that,
much as he was hoping that if he'd be the lucky guy, he's got to do his job. I mean, what would it look like if he? Oh, but he misses though. He misses on Sally. Probably gets a soft spot for Sally. And, um, he does not hit anything. But zombie, I have, like, yeah, yeah. Okay, zombie A, right here is going to run towards little JJ, with a slam. I mean, everyone's catching slams these days. Oh, and then roll does not hit. I mean, I hate to say it, but little JJ is unflammable if we're being generous here. Zombie B is going to run over maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 to Jefferson. I mean, you said it yourself. Jefferson looks very slammable. He's gonna have
oh
to.
god.
Oh, and this one succeeds. This one succeeds with a slam. Jefferson is caught off guard as all of a sudden he is slammed in the side by the zombie B who's running up, and catches a little bit of
Well,
hands there,
heat.
a little heat. Zombie C is gonna. I mean, not to be impolite here, but I think there's gonna be two slams here. There's gonna be two slams. It's a double team in here. Um, oh, I thought that was a critical. I thought it was not a critical slam, just a regular slam, but it got high up there. It was a 19.
Oh
Got me
gosh.
nervous with 4 damage. I mean, but Jefferson can take a slamming or two. It's not to say.
They
It's
didn't
not to
make
say
him the captain for nothing.
Yeah, he couldn't have a little bit of endurance on him. Um, Sally though, Sally's ruthless. Sally's relentless.
We'll see
She'll
how
get
she.
she'll get the slam whether he likes it or not. Um, with oh no, but it does not roll. She is tied. She is between whether or not she's attacking Justeel or this thug over here. She continues to go for Justeel, and is trying to climb up into the cart. But as she's trying to climb up and everything, he's kind of keeping her back with his boot, unable to let her get in. And which means we're going to roll back up on the top with the assassin. Assassin is going to continue to. Assassin sees that Jefferson is in trouble, and she's gonna kind of come over here and try to get some shots on the zombie B here. So we're going to
They're
do
together.
who?
Jefferson and the assassin are
Oh,
together.
maybe.
That's why he hired her. She's always she's always doing these jobs, and that's how they met.
Oh, I see. I see. They kind of met in the field here. Well,
Hmm.
I mean, she really wants to protect him because that's two light crossbow hits, and we're going to do damage. Damage. Are zombies immune to poison? Yes, because they're dead. And that is a total of 16 damage here.
Yeesh.
Um, and I have to zombie B. 1 second, I have to look at this. That's 12. Then plus a 5. They have to do a Constitution saving throw to beat a 17 and does not beat.
Jeez.
Zombie B is taken out. Zombie B is no longer. And Jefferson looks up to Assassin and kind of blows a kiss, like oh, like something just to make sure that Assassin knows. What's Assassin's name? What's her name?
Horatio.
Whoa, what?
No, let me.
A rash, irrational,
Harass.
harass,
Harass.
okay, I was gonna say I don't know if rash is the best.
It's her
Harassriel?
ass, but her ass.
Oh, harass?
Yeah.
It's real. He's used to just the slams, I guess, at this point. Her name is Harassriel. Uh, yeah. Okay. We're continuing here with your turn.
All right. Um, let's see. I want to. I want to go toe to toe with harass trio.
Oh,
I should
dang.
not have named. So I'm gonna jump over
She
here.
She's had multiple complaints with the HR department of the Barracudas.
I jumped over.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to push her off the building.
Gonna try to push her out the building. Do a strength check.
And- Oh, wait. Oh, dang it.
Uh-oh.
Fucked. That was a 19.
19. Hell yeah. Um, I see I see that hits. And so she is pushed, what is it, like 10 feet off the side here, 5, 10, and hits the ground pretty hard. She's gonna do a couple of rolls for damage. She gets 5 damage done to her. As she kind of falls off the wall, you kind of catch her by surprise because she's too busy trying to defend Jefferson, and she falls off the wall, hits the ground kind of square, flat on her back, and has the breath knocked out of her for a little bit. What else are you looking to do on your turn?
That's it.
Okay,
That's
and
it.
then
I'm just gonna move up here.
okay,
And
and then
yeah.
Toll. What's Toll looking to do? Because he's
All
still
right.
biting little
Toll,
JJ.
yeah, Tola's gonna now go for the other eye. So that
Oh
is,
yeah,
let's see.
I mean
Is
only the
it
right thing to do.
is it a naughty little 20 hit little
Oh,
JJ.
that naughty little 20 hits. All right,
And is a 17 hit.
17 hits as well. I mean, Toll's really hitting his
Oh,
stride right now.
he's on fire right now. Not literally.
I mean, that's what makes that. I mean, he's jealous. A little JJ is covered in sparkly armor. Lights the fire underneath Toll.
So that is a 10 total.
10 total. Hell yeah. Bites the crap out of little JJ. I mean, what does it look like what does it look like when Toll is
He
feasting on
launches
little
off,
JJ's face?
like he detaches from one side of his face, and then little JJ just sees this, like he doesn't have a huge mouth, but he's pretty close, so he just sees this gaping mouth of Toll, sharp little teeth like puppy teeth, and
Yeah.
then latches onto the other.
Yeah. And little JJ is now blinded. He
Oh
he has no
gosh.
more eyes. Um,
Oh
I-
no.
don't act surprised. You were the one that made him attack the eyeballs. You had to have known the consequences. Anything else that Toll's looking to do?
No, he's satisfied Well, he's not satisfied. He will soon be wearing little JJ's plate of armor.
Even if he's a little tiny dragon. All
Yes.
right. Next is Jefferson, who sees Harassriel fall off the wall, and he's like, "No, my sweetheart!" And he goes ahead and tries to attack the zombie C here. Um, with a multi attack, one attack hits. He's going to do slashing damage here for 4 damage. That is, I have to have zombie C roll a Constitution saving throw, but it's not going to be as high as the one that Harassriel had created. That's a 5 plus 4, which is a 9 Constitution. Jefferson throws his blade into the belly of Zombie C as he sees Harassriel fall off the wall. He stabs in there all heroically, but the zombie kind of just looks down, looks back up, and begins kind of still walk towards Jefferson, and not
Oh,
quite dead yet. And so we're going
it's
to
like walking itself through the
like through the
sword.
blade, like up the blade here, and
Oh.
Jefferson's like, oh, and doesn't really know what to do. As Jefferson is there. So Skeleton now is going to kind of run over here, hit little JJ because little JJ doesn't know what he's doing. And since little JJ is blinded, he attacks with advantage with the short sword here.
And I forgot to tell you the other thug that's up there next to
Oh yeah.
Sally. His name is Big JJ.
Oh dang. How many
Big old
how many dudes
JJ.
are named Jefferson around here?
Big old JJ.
Big old JJ. No, if you anything, Jeffrey joined the Barracudas, and he's like, my name is Jeffrey, and Jefferson's like, well, we have to change that because my name's Jefferson. I'm not gonna have this whole Jeffrey and Jefferson thing. We both go by Jeffs, and then Jeffrey is like, okay, I'll go by JJ then. He goes, no, 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 we already have a big JJ. We already have a JJ. You guys are gonna have to differentiate each other. And so he's like, fine, I'll be little JJ, whatever that means. But what's funny though is that big old JJ, is actually like smaller in size than little JJ,
That's
which makes like
funny.
no sense. But it's just like big old JJ it's just a whole confusing thing. And honestly, the Barracudas are kind of happy. Maybe Jefferson is a little excited that like maybe one of the JJs gets taken off because it's just like on paper, it's hard to do. And the Barracudas just they have enough things going on. They're trying to infiltrate Cyanidell's black market. It's just a lot of things are going on. Jefferson doesn't need that this kind of drama now. And so, let's see. So Skeleton is going to attack little JJ with advantage. That is successful, and we're going to do a short sword here. Um, and while Cole is trying to dig around, trying to get into the armor. Skeleton comes up and plunges a sword kind of in top half of kind of starting at the head into the armor because the armor around itself is impenetrable. Stabs the sword and little JJ stops moving and then kind of falls
Oh.
down and little JJ is gone. I mean, leaving a whole body to loot for Toll and little JJ
Now,
is done.
now big old JJ is
Can you just be now
JJ.
JJ? That's so sad. Then it's like Jefferson arrives on big old JJ's doorstep and everything. I have bad news for you. You're now just JJ. Or he's like, no, that means little JJ's not. And he goes into like a into an emotional crisis because yeah. But besides the point, Justeel is defending himself from Sally, who's just a little too handsy. Even she was handsy in the nursing room in the nursing home. She's handsy now, and he just can't stop it.
She was the
Justeel.
creepy grandma. So, which makes sense because not only was she crocheting battle plans, she was crocheting little dicks.
Little Dick on her battle plans. He was all being weird with it too. Like, why can't you just be evil and normal? She's like, no, I like I like slamming too much. He's gonna get a good hit on Sally here. And I mean, I wish it meant something because she ends up just liking it. Um, and we are going
Harder, harder.
like, no, please leave me alone. He does 5 damage to her as he kind of slices with his scimitar and kind of gets her on the shoulder area as she's trying to crawl up into his cart here, metaphorically and physically. Bandit here is going to try to direction this cart here. I'm trying to move this cart. He's trying to kind of move the cart this way, and he's in there as well. Bing. He just, I mean, lots of stuff's going on. This horse is gone now. This horse is no longer.
It's gone.
This is it's just a cart that's just sitting here, and the fire is gone technically. As this cart is the wheels have given out because they've turned to charcoal, and the wooden wheels have now pretty much just dropped the wagon. The wagon is just sitting there while the crates are burning, and whatever chemicals and things that are in the cart that the crates are like making the fire turn like different colors, like technicolor flames and everything. And no one's getting high though. Don't get excited. No one's getting high.
Oh,
Uh,
dang
but
it.
the Minotaur skeleton now is going to rush forward and is going to. Oh, whoops. I need to look at this. Okay. We're going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Uh, I guess it really can't fit into that little area, but it's actually going to run forward and is just so eager. It's actually going to hit Zombie C, and it's not nobody's team.
It's
He,
on a team of its own.
he's just
Okay.
going for it. Zombie C takes 18 damage. And I'm gonna have him roll for
Sweet.
that. Pretty much Jefferson attacks Zombie C. Zombie C starts walking up on his blade and everything, trying to get to him. And so he pulls out the sword in fear. And instead, this giant Minotaur skeleton runs with its head lower and smacks the zombie and kind of like kind of bucks him up like an angry bull. And Zombie C just goes flying and is gone. Uh, and instead, there is a giant Minotaur skeleton straight in front of Jefferson and her ass rail. Um, and so, big old JJ now, who's still just, why couldn't it have been me? Why couldn't it have been me? Attacking Sally here with the mace. That is a 7. 7 does not hit Sally. he just can't bring himself to it. He's like, "Ugh," and it's just kind of dancing around it. This zombie here now sees Cole, who's sitting there. And I'm sorry,
Oh
I mean,
no.
even Toll, he's gonna try his luck even with Toll to get a quick slam in. Um, does a 21 hit Toll?
Yes, it hits Soul.
I do apologize, but he's gonna have to take 8 damage.
And Toll is gone.
Cole
He
is so excited now he can plunder a
yes.
body here. The zombie comes up and like smacks him and just like poof, he's gone into like a little like splash of water. Uh, and you know, Sally here is still trying to go for Just Deal. Just one. I mean, one of these slams has got to work. One of these slams has got to work. And that is a hit. Sally crawls up into the wagon with Just Steel and starts delivering slams. Starts just delivering slams here. Um, Just Steel takes one slam, and it already is almost the death of him. Uh, and we're gonna go back at the top with Harassriel. Harassriel now down here with the Minotaur skeleton rushes into action because Jefferson is in trouble. Gonna go with a short sword here. Multi attack with a short sword. One hit or one attack. Hold on, let me double check. Yes, one attack hits. And with her kind of poison tipped blade, even though the poison doesn't do anything because it's skeleton, it does 7 damage to the Minotaur, which means it's your turn now.
All right.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna I'm gonna see Harass Reel, and I'm gonna cast Frostbite
Dang, you got it
on
out
her.
for her ass rail.
Well, she's just right there. I don't This is within 60 feet. I
That
don't
is true. That is true.
um so you need to make a constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw for her ass rail. Um, as a 16. Does a 16 fail?
No, she succeeded. So
Okay. She gets a little frosty, a little nippy, and she's like, "What the hell is going on?" And sees you up there going, "Yeah." She's like, "What the hell?" All right. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
um all right. Well, since that didn't work, I'm going to bonus action Tentacles of the Deep.
Oh hell yeah! Not gonna see your little art.
Yeah. Um, okay. Let me get you going. Ding. Oh, it's a little crooked
Oh,
today. Not my best.
yeah.
All
I'd still
right.
say it's good though.
All right, and then it's going to try to hit Terrestrial.
Roll to attack.
Does an 11 hit?
11 does not. So she
Okay.
sees you up on the top of the tower trying to do frostbite, and then all of a sudden she looks over to her side. There's a big old dragon tail that swipes towards her, and so she's able to like duck underneath it as it goes over her and does not attack her. But is there anything else that you want to do on your turn?
No,
Okay,
not at
which
all.
means Jefferson is going to attempt again with his scimitar here. He's going to multi-attack with the scimitar. One attack hits, which means he's going to do some damage here. I mean, he's the leader of the Barracudas. He's gonna have to kind of put his sword to it to his words. He's gonna have to bite, not just bark. And so he goes for the Minotaur skeleton, attacks it with 4 damage here, and the skeleton kind of rears back in pain if a skeleton can feel pain. But the skeleton here, this skeleton down here is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, run off along the side here, and just steal. Now that Sally is on here, he's going to attempt attack one more time, and with his scimitar, he does not hit Sally, and instead is just trying to crawl
Oh no.
away outside of the out of the
I've heard range.
the wagon. And Sally's like, "Nuh-uh, come here, boy," and just is not having a good time. Bandit, this guy is going to try to is just going to try to run. Really, I'm going to group these. He's going to see if he can kind of escape. He's going to turn the cart a little bit this way, and begin to run. Um, Here, I'm trying to
His
do.
name is Jake. The Barracudas, to be able to join them, you have to no, start with a
Oh,
J.
you're. Yeah, I was trying to make it high fantasy, but you were trying to have it start with a J. Jake. Or do you want just regular Jake? You just want
That's
regular
fine
Jake.
like that. No,
No,
that's fine.
we'll just regular Jake. It has to be all J names.
Yes. If you want to join the Barracudas. If you,
Jeff
yeah.
Jefferson thought it would be cool until two dudes showed up named Jeffrey, and he's like, okay, now this is immediately not a good idea anymore. But at that point, Jake had already been there. But Harasriel, I mean, is kind of like a nepo hire, really. I mean,
Well, yeah,
she got it because she was his girlfriend, and
she's like a contractor. She's a
yeah,
contract for hire.
I get you. So she doesn't have to be named Jay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Minotaur skeleton. We're gonna go ahead with a gore attack. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, it's not a fun name, but it also does hit. Doing Oh, okay. He can afford this. 13 damage. The Minotaur skeleton lowers his head again and kind of smacks Jefferson with a horn. Jefferson is able to get back on his feet, though he is wounded, and we're gonna continue like that. Big old JJ. Still, it's gonna try to pull Sally off the cart. Not really to save Justeel, but just so he kind of can feel Sally's touch. You know what I'm saying? Uh, he's going to multi attack here, and one hits. He's gonna kind of with his big old hands. He drops his maul. Big old hands grabs Sally and pulls him pulls her back. Oh, actually have him do a strength saving check. Yeah, he pulls her off. And so she's now pulled off the wagon, and Just Steel thanks big old JJ very very much. And this zombie right here, we're gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, and Sally now has no one to attack but big old JJ, and she is going to attempt to slam big old JJ. It does not work. She is too kind of she's still trying to go for Just Steel. Is in the middle of kind of changing targets. That slam is not successful, and we're gonna come back around to the top to Harasriel, who what would Harasriel do in the situation? Her boyfriend's getting attacked. Her job that she was is hired to do is kind of going down the gutter here. Also, Marlo keeps on picking on her for some reason, even though she's never seen this chick in her life. Uh, we we're gonna have her continue to fight Jefferson. I mean, the bond of love is strong, and she's going to multi attack with her short sword. Ooh, both hit very well. Um, 13 damage. She just starts slicing the crap out of the Minotaur skeleton's legs in hopes that she can attract his attention rather than Jefferson's. Um, and next is going to be you, Marlo. What are you looking to do?
All right. I am going to move my dragon tail.
Hmm.
I wish there was a way that I could like just move it once I draw it.
Yeah, like make it like a little item or something.
Yeah.
That would be
Let's see.
cool. Let me take a look at They now have a new stickers feature, which allows you to
I was
like
looking
put
at
things. And
those.
I was like curious if maybe one of them would look. I mean, the boulders with doorway kind of looks like a dragon tail if you squint at it, but I don't know if it really would fit. Um, no,
So
nothing
I
really.
moved it that way.
Okay.
The dragon tail is going to go after Jefferson.
Oh dang. Okay, okay.
He seems to be on the brink
Of
of
death.
death.
He seems to be a needy target. All right, roll for the attack.
Does a 21 hit Jefferson?
21 does. Go roll ahead and roll for
Okay.
damage.
Oh. Oh shoot. Oh, okay. 1d8. All right, let's see. Where are you, big boy? You're the diamond, I think. Yes, you are. Okay. That is a 7
Okay.
and cold damage.
Hell yeah. Seven of cold,
and
so 7
it's
of cold damage.
yeah,
Perfect.
and his speed is reduced by 10 feet in case he tries to move. I
Run.
don't know where he would move. He's they kind
Yeah,
of trapped him, just
they
still
really did just
Jake
like
and
block him in there. Okay.
okay, and let's see spells. I am going to try to do frostbite at
On Horastrial.
Jefferson. No,
Oh,
Jefferson, I guess.
Jefferson. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Which means that's
So
a Constitution saving throw.
yes,
An 8. He rolls an 8. Does he fail?
he failed.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
the target takes 1d6, which is the cube. It's a measly 2. It's a
But,
2.
chip damage is still damage.
And he has disadvantage for his next weapon attack.
Oh, dang. Heck yeah. All right. Is that's your turn?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So Jefferson now, it gets kind of frozen a little bit. I mean, he gets smacked by a dragon tail, and all of a sudden he's like his muscles are kind of
Starts climbing.
frozen up, and he's like, what's going on here? And he instead like kind of looks up at to see where you're at, and realizes it kind of clicks things in his head now, like, oh, this is the saboteur here who's like, been trying to like get rid of our shipment here, and so he is going to um he's gonna pull out a pistol and kind of just tries to like get like a quick shot off on you. So he tries to do like a little like western quick shot, but he has disadvantage on the attack because his muscles are a little frozen. Does an 8 hit you?
No.
Okay, the bullet is loud and it kind of echoes off of the wall here. And well, the gun is loud, echoes off the wall, and the bullet kind of goes wide and doesn't hit you at all. And so you are unscathed here. And yeah, I mean that's really it. He is done for. And skeleton now is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, kind of come on the other side of Just Deal. He just can't catch a break. But Just Deal is going to, he kind of lunges forward, grabs the reins of the horse thing, of the horse thing, and he lickety splits. He is gone with this horse cart, and he begins to kind of travel off that way down the just down the road. Like he's cut his losses with trying to get into the city. He books it, and then Jake here is actually going to do a very similar thing. This is right over there. He just books it, and kind of you can tell as they start to go, Jefferson kind of waves and like get out of here, as they realize that the job is butchered now, and they begin to split in both directions. Now this Minotaur skeleton is going to do kind of one last goring attack here while he does not hit. There's just kind of too much stuff going on, especially with this dragon tail. It kind of caught the Minotaur off guard, and um, yeah, he doesn't hit. He does not hit. Big old JJ, however, is getting a little bit of alone time with Sally now. Now the two the two carts are gone. He's like, oh, hey Sally, how's it going? And he, I think I've built this narrative, and now it doesn't make sense that he's hitting her with a mace. But the it really doesn't make sense now. There's no reason why you want him to be slammed. He attacks with the mace. The mace hits and does uh 3 damage here. And Sally is still just holding on. I mean, she is one tough lady. And Zombie here is going to kind of go 5, 10, 15. I start kind of chasing after Justeel, just because Justeel just can't get a break. And Sally is going to slam big old JJ. And an 18 hits. And it does 4 damage. And, and big old JJ is slammed with a smile on his face. As we now are back on the top with Harasriel. Harasriel now is going to multi-attack with her short swords. Go 1, 2, and that is a natural 20 with her second one. Both hit, but she natural 20s with one of them. We're gonna go at a total of 15 damage as she now runs up, kind of the Minotaur turns to like hit Jefferson, misses, and she is able to kind of almost like climb up onto the back of the Minotaur, jumps up with his sword and just starts kind of going to town on the head portion, piercing the back of the skull of the Minotaur skeleton, and the skeleton is no longer.
Oh
Skeleton
my
dies.
heck.
And at this point, she begins to just to book it. And so she's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Just begins to run. And it's your turn right now.
All right. I'm going to try to take out Jefferson while I'm here.
Okay. Roll to what type of attack are you doing?
I'm using my big old dragon tail.
Big
Here,
old
you'll
dragon
see it.
tail. Oh, I do. I see it. There we go.
Mm, All right. He's gonna try to attack. Actions. Bonus action. Oh, I'm cocked. Oh, that is a 7.
7. A 7 does not hit Jefferson.
Okay.
Jefferson's a little too quick for it.
All right. Then I'm going to. Where are you? Where are you? I'm going to use Frostbite one last time.
Okay. Okay. Constitution saving throw. He has another 8. I'm pretty sure that's what he rolled last time. Does that fail?
Yes. So he takes 1 more damage.
1 more damage. Heck yeah. And his speed is no, his speed is not slow because of the dragon tail, but it is he gets disadvantage, doesn't he?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We're not gonna is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Now it is Jefferson's turn. He is actually he sees that just the party has split. He is going to disengage and he's going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He disappears out into the darkness past the city wall. Looking over his shoulder just once, just to see who's on the tower, and he remembers your face. He remembers who you are. Skeleton here begins to kind of continue to chase Justeel as Justeel now takes off officially and is full speed ahead. Wagon disappears, followed by Jake, who does a very similar thing. Full speed ahead. Wagon disappears. Big old JJ. Uh, I don't know why I'm doing this. Big old JJ grabs Sally and hucks her over his shoulder, and she's like clawing and like kind of gnawing at his metal armor on his back. Um,
Oh my god.
and he books it. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. Uh, but the oh shoot, the
You
zombie here.
created a monster.
I think JJ was the monster. I don't know what's going on. Um, the zombie kind of books it after, and just kind of as soon as everything had happened, everything kind of just dissipates. You have one more attack off at Harassriel if you want to see if you can kind of do something there.
I'm gonna hide.
Okay. All right. You hide, and Harassriel kind of has a chance to book it off in the darkness. And with one cart still kind of cindering, smoldering in the fire, the Barracudas have not entered the city of Cyanodel. And I mean, that was your goal, wasn't it? I mean, your goal was to make sure they didn't get in, and they did not get in. Trust me on that one. Um, and you are, and combat is now over. Now I will let you kind of like loot bodies, but we did go a little bit over time, and I gotta run. And so
Yeah, no worries.
I had a blast. It was so much fun playing. And to anyone that's watching here, if you haven't made it this far, I hope, I mean, I'm supposed to say this in the beginning, but the videos will a audio only version as well as a recorded version will be available on. Let me switch over here to the this view. Will be available. Will be posted in the retrospective platforms on Friday. You can listen on Spotify to our audio only, or you can go to YouTube and watch our videos there. If short form content is more your style, you can search Tethered by the Table on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for periodic snippets of our shenanigans. But with that, Megan, any last words before we end the stream?
Well, thanks for hanging in with us and watching us be goofy little nerds when we can. We'll
Excellent,
catch you next
definitely.
week.
Yeah, we will. Thank you, and see you later.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Tethered by the Table. It was a blast recording this session, and I hope you stick around for the next one. If you want to watch us live, you can find us on Twitch every Monday morning, or you can wait for the recording and audio-only episode to be uploaded the following Friday. Make sure to follow us on all applicable platforms, and we'll see you next time.